You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet, and welcome. Welcome, Bert. God, man, it's good to see you. I hope you've had a good week. It's been weird here, but yeah. Welcome to the TADPOG podcast. It's where 2 to 3 old guys play old games. This week, well, I shouldn't say that. This week, as every week, I'm your bearded host, Tyler. And of course, we started talking about doing Joe and Mac.
How did we get on that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was trying to today. I was like, when I was prepping for the show, I was like, how did we decide that we were going to do Joe and Mac?
Well, we talked about the 3 games we did last time: the Jelly Boy, then Claymates, then Bamboozle, whatever.
Right.
Then we were like, well, what else is on the Super NES online?
And it was there.
That doesn't suck.
And
then
did
we
you
said,
mention Joe and Mac?
You asked if Joe and Mac, somebody asked if Joe and Mac was on there. I said it was. And we're like, well, then let's do that.
All right.
Because you've been meaning to do it anyway.
That's true.
I think that what we should do is...
Because we did the second one 500 episodes ago.
A very long time. Maybe more than 500
You're probably
episodes
right.
ago.
Like 600 episodes ago.
Maybe we should do all of the... Maybe like we should... We'll go back to the randomizer, of course.
We have to.
Everybody loves the randomizer, us included. But maybe we should do the stuff that's on the Switch. Maybe that should be like the list. Because it's probably not too many games on there that we haven't already covered.
I mean, and it's considerably more accessible, I
Right.
would imagine, to someone who doesn't have like an emulation
Right.
type set up, or
People are going to be
wants
looking
to play
at these games.
Right.
and
There's
wants
no reason anybody has to go and look back at any of the ESPN racing games. But if it was on the Switch, people might actually give a shit.
Right. Yeah.
And I never would have played these games if it wasn't for being on the show.
Right.
And saying that.
Well, and I'm
that's what
also-
it is. So here, I'm playing them now. Maybe I'll find something I like.
Yeah, you haven't yet. But I was also thinking. I mean, since you're coming on more regularly, it would be a good idea because you have a Switch and you can play these games.
Yeah, I can do it, and I mean I can emulate too, but this is easier for me.
That's
to
more
just
accessible.
Do whenever. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, that's way more accessible than
Easily.
like emulating. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm down with that. I mean,
Do you feel, Tyler? You feel okay with that?
That's great.
All right.
Wonderful.
Okay. Cool. I guess. Well, we already know what we're going to do next episode. It won't be a Super Nintendo game, so
Right.
we'll figure out a system, I guess, in which we can decide what game we talk about, what Super Nintendo game we talk about next. Hi, I'm Dave, by the way.
Yeah. Hi, Dave. And of course, joining us as often as he can, and we love it, Ian.
Hello.
Ian's back.
Hey, man.
good to be back.
Glad you're back.
I am too. I was on Discord today, and lots of people were telling me that they were enjoying me being on the show. So that was really nice.
I've been trying to tell you that.
I believe you, but it's nice to see.
I believe you, but I don't believe you.
Trust but verify, Dave.
I get it. I do. I understand that.
No, but it was nice.
Manager speak. I recognize it.
Had a couple people message me on Messenger and about some stuff, and then I was like, and then they mentioned, hey, we liked hearing you on a show. And I'm like, you know what? I got to get on Discord again.
Yeah.
Because I just forgot to install it when I got a different computer from work, and got back on there today. It was nice being in there again.
It's cool. I like it a lot.
It's a lot of rooms.
Yeah. Yeah. There's less than there used to be. Believe that.
Yeah, no, I do. But yeah, it was good going in there and hearing from everybody, and feels like I'm interacting. I'm interacting with people now in that, as opposed to just talking into this mic and hoping for the best. So
It's all good.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Fun.
Tyler, it's been weird.
Yeah, this week's sucked. So far.
Work.
It's Thursday, and yeah.
It's almost over, right?
I mean, sort of. We'll see.
Weekend not looking good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody I work with, they're all like, oh, you got COVID. Bye. Wonderful. Did you get
not
that
good.
vaccination? No. So we have COVID. And if we have to get the vaccination, we're going to quit. Love it.
Makes sense.
Now, my department hasn't really been that bad as I hear other departments in the hospital are about getting the vaccine. So
I'm sorry to hear that it's fucking crazy.
well, I've got good management team with me. So
It's crazy
make it
for me
work.
too, if it makes you feel any better, for a different reason. I mean, the reason is still COVID, but the reason is, work has picked back up and we have the same amount of people we did after COVID. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's like
right.
Yeah.
two of us essentially. And it's like, all right, guess we'll figure this shit out. So there was one day where it was like, and of course, this is all like typical stuff in the industry, but like someone called and they're like, hey, we need a 2-minute video shot, edited, and ready to go tomorrow. Can you guys do that?
Shouldn't be a problem.
And it's like, oh, by the way, they're an hour away. So there's like 2 hours of driving involved in that too. Loading up equipment, going out, and it's like, sure. Sure. And so we go out and do it, and then it was fine. It all turned out okay. And it was, honestly, it's kind of fun to get out of the office and do
Yeah.
like videography stuff. Because that stuff is fun.
do you
but-
charge like a rush and traveling fee?
yeah. Oh yeah, we charge for traveling, for sure. And then the rush
Like
is
tomorrow? Yeah. How much money can I pull through your nose though?
no, you don't ask. Just ask for forgiveness, not for permission.
Yeah.
Also
Now,
good.
if only I got a cut of that.
Right.
As you should.
I shouldn't because I'm an employee, but
Well, if you're one of 2 employees left.
You do get a cut of that, Dave. It's called your
my
paycheck.
wage, yeah.
Come on.
If there was
now.
some profit sharing, though, I might be
Yeah.
more inclined to be like, "Fuck yeah, let's get the fuck out there now. Let's go. Come on."
In the prime, how many graphic designers did you have on staff?
In the prime 6.
6.
Yeah,
So just tell them triple your salary since there are 2 of you.
Unfortunately, it does not work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
I had a job once working at this fucking horrible company that sold. They were they sold NASCAR stuff.
Okay,
NASCAR memorabilia.
that's when you decided to get your Dale Earnhardt.
They drop,
tattoo,
yeah,
right?
exactly. They drop ship it, like so they'll run. They're like the warehouse where the stuff is, so people will run the ads in like their publications or their magazines or
Their
whatever,
Thrifty
and then
Nickels.
it would come from this place.
Okay,
And I took the job,
like
thinking
the Amazon of NASCAR.
a very tiny version.
Yeah, a little
but
baby-
yeah, it's
baby
the same
Amazon.
kind of thing. I took the job as the IT guy and the graphic designer, website designer. I wore about 8 hats while
Yeah.
I was there, and I got paid to wear one.
Yeah, that is definitely how it
Right.
works at like a small place.
After the 6 months, the first 6 months, they were like, after 6 months, you're going to get a substantial raise. 6 months came around, I didn't get my raise. They started talking about suddenly how I'm not doing my job enough. I'm not meeting up to their expectations. This is the first I've heard of this.
Yeah.
Of course. So I quit
Yeah,
and went back to work where I had been working, which was at the casino. But yeah, no,
so that was kind of a recent then.
well, I mean,
Ish.
it's been.
Oh God, don't make me feel old. You're about to make me feel really old.
I've worked at my current job for 10 years.
No. Yeah.
And then after I came back from that job, I worked at the casino for an additional 6 years. And I had been there for 4 years or 5 years at that point. So it's been 15 years
Ian,
since
I
I did it.
asked you, please.
No,
You did it anyway.
I'm not gonna.
You did
I'm
it
not
anyway.
gonna sugarcoat it.
You got.
David.
You have to for me. You know this.
College was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was that's the kind of shit I just can't deal
Yeah.
with. It's like when I go in to claim what they said was gonna happen. Oh no, you haven't been meeting expectations. Oh, how nice of you to fucking tell me.
That's probably their strategy.
Absolutely.
It's like we
Here's-
hire them in. We just every 6 months we get a new person to do this.
well, the
Here's
person,
a 2 of hearts and here's a 2 of spades. I call these deuces. Bye.
yeah. They got a woman to replace me, who I warned profusely. You're gonna hate it here.
Oh
I
yeah.
was that guy. I
No,
don't
that's
like.
good.
It's like you're gonna hate it here. She lasted longer than I thought, but I heard that like probably about a little less than a year after I quit, they went bankrupt. And there was a whole big scandal about embezzlement and all
I'm
kinds of shit
embezzling.
Yeah. But what was even funnier was the woman that runs the company reportedly, and I had this on pretty good authority, but so everyone had to be laid off because the company was bankrupt, but they were still trying to do business, right? They were still trying to cover their losses or whatever you do when you file for bankruptcy as a business. And the woman that ran the company went to her staff and said, okay, you guys are all collecting unemployment. Would you be willing to keep working here for free?
And we'll pay you when we're back.
We'll pay you when we're back, and you can keep drawing your unemployment.
Right. And was everybody like, we're going to report you?
Which is everybody. It was. She had enough. She had some people that said they were willing to do it.
Of course,
But
because
then
they
she
need
had the
the job.
people that said that's fucking illegal.
Right.
And no. So I don't think anything ever came from it. I know that place shut down eventually, like for good. I drove past it a few
In a
weeks ago.
NASCAR.
In a stock car. And it was something else altogether.
Yeah.
So,
One of
fuck 'em.
Melissa's bosses bitched her out for not working enough free time off the clock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there was an expectation that you worked 4 to 5 to 6 or whatever events off the clock for free.
No.
Yeah. She's not there anymore. Melissa and that woman are not there
Yeah.
anymore.
I used to have to do that at the job before the one I have in Lexington. And but see, I was salaried, so it was just like
You were expected to
Yeah,
do
I
whatever
mean, it
they
was
asked you to
pretty
do.
much.
That's why I won't. That's why I will not take a salary from my current job, because they'll have a lot more.
yeah, you'll do more.
They'll have me do a lot
Yeah.
more.
They got to get their money's worth out of you.
Right now, I make okay money, and I only have to work the hours that I work.
Right.
And I don't get overtime.
Oh no.
I'm not on call. You know, I'm not. It was one of the things I made a deal with them when I came back to that company.
Yeah.
Was I don't want to be on call because I just hate being on call.
Yeah, it sucks.
They gave me that, and that stuck even after the guy that hired me back in left the company. I thought, oh fuck,
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm gonna have to start being on call again. But apparently they,
I'm sorry to interrupt. I got an important message from one Zeus Laser.
yes,
Do not eat the cookies.
Okay.
They are definitely expired. I thought they got lost in the mail. I said it months ago. There's dairy in there. 2 weeks max.
I was actually I opened the fridge earlier to put the beers in there. I saw those. I was like,
so we're gonna eat
should
them.
eat them.
So
We're gonna eat them and see what happens.
We're gonna eat them to get the COVID vaccine and just see what happens.
Yeah. Man.
You guys been playing anything else? What you been playing from last week?
I've been playing some things.
Yeah.
I played the more Back for Blood. They did the open beta. I played with my sister and my brother-in-law, and we got through the full like Act 1, and I can't wait for that game to fully release. And I really want to see what the season pass looks like, and I hope it's not all PvP stuff and that it's actually like more co-op stuff. And then I played Dodgeball Academia, which is a really fucking good game. It's on Game Pass. I looked up, I was like, how much is this regular? And it's $25, and that's honestly a little steep. But for Game Pass, it's like, yeah, this is great, because it's like Super Dodgeball for the NES, which is part of the Kunio-kun universe. Have either of you played Super Dodgeball?
Mm-mm.
It's on Switch. It's on the NES service on Switch. Check it out. It might not be your thing, but it's like essentially competitive dodgeball. And
With like River City Ransom-ish characters. Right?
absolutely, they take the sprites. I mean, like the Kunio sprites in there and Ricky's in there and like all that. And then like it's all done in that style in Super Dodgeball for the NES. And I know it's weird because it's has Super in the title, but it's an NES game. So what Dodgeball Academia is it like takes that idea, the same kind of mechanics essentially. It's dodgeball, and like there's a You catch the ball when it gets close to you, if it's thrown at you, and there's timing involved in that. And some characters have like counters and stuff where there's timing involved in that too. But it's kind of like they took Super Dodgeball for the NES and mixed it with River City Ransom and with Pokemon, because like as you go through the game, it's an RPG. It's a light RPG, but as you go through the game, it all takes place on a dodgeball campus. It's all very like anime styled, and it's like, so because of that, it's like, this is the dodgeball school, and it's like the dodgeball school has all these different things, and it's so they really lean into that. And so like you'll be going around the school like on quests, and like random students will come up to you and challenge you to dodgeball, and you then play dodgeball. They'll be different levels. You level up as you successfully win with battles. You build your team. Like the whole thing is like building up to this tournament, and it's like it's like a 3-person team that you have to put together, and there's a whole bunch of different characters that have different strengths and moves.
A lot like Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean it really is like, to me it's like they really took 3 games, Super Dodgeball, River City Ransom, and Pokemon, and we're like, okay, let's combine these 3 games and make a new game. And it just came out like this month, I think, like a couple weeks ago. Every character has their own special move, essentially. So it's like as you're playing, like the more successful catches you do and counters that you do, you fill up a meter. Once that meter is full, you can perform a special. So it's kind of got like a fighting game mechanic in there too, with meter management and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It is really neat. And it's like, so the story hook or essentially is the main character doesn't have a special. And like the whole thing is like the teachers are like, well, sometimes it doesn't come out unless you're under a lot of stress or something like that.
So the Deadpool of dodgeball.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's cool. It's not $25 cool. Like it is on the Switch, because I was like, how much is this on the Switch? And is it on the Switch? It is. It's $25. Unless you really like Super Dodgeball, I don't think it's worth it. It might be worth it to me because I really like, man, I have memories of playing that with like in high school, even like when the PlayStation was out. And it's like a friend and I would just hook up his NES and play Super Dodgeball instead. Because I have like a real affection for that game. Like it really, like Dodgeball Academia is like sweet spot. Plus like the River City Ransom stuff, and like, because you eat food.
It takes a lot
and
of
stuff.
boxes for you.
Yeah, a lot of boxes. I'm not out of the 3 games, like Pokemon's probably the one I have the least experience with, but I've always like wanted to get into Pokemon. So, and I've tried multiple times. So this is kind of like a side loading Pokemon. So I don't know. It's very cool. I recommend it.
I played a little Quake today.
Quake. Yeah, I saw you posted Quake was on the Switch.
I bought it. It was $10.
It's original Quake.
It's original.
How does it
Quake.
play with the controls? I mean,
It's hard because
yeah, I bet.
Like usually I play inverted.
Oh fuck! Can you
aim.
invert them on the?
You can invert, but for some reason my body's not cooperating with me, and I'm trying. If I invert like if I had a keyboard and mouse, inverting is no problem. But if I'm using a controller, for some reason when I go to aim, I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm going up when I mean to go down. And
Switch it, baby.
and I have trouble both ways. It's
really.
like when I'm moving around, I can do one thing
Yeah.
just fine this way, but when I get into a battle, that same exact controller just doesn't work for me. I'm instinctually pulling down to go up, and it's just, I don't know.
Sticks, man. How do they work?
I don't know.
I mean, I can't.
But it's smooth, it's fast, it's
Magnets.
Quake. It's just Quake.
Quake's good, man. I loved Quake when it came out.
I would
Yeah, I
would
did
like
too.
to see Quake 2.
Quake 2 would be harder to play on a Switch.
It would.
I
I saw a thing you can put a keyboard and mouse on a Switch.
No way.
They have a special adapter that you can use.
So how much is it, and when's it coming
About
in?
$60. I can't afford to buy it right now.
$250, and
Might be worth it for games like that, because if I could do that, I'd play Overwatch.
Dude,
again.
when Overwatch like came out and my PC like would not, I mean, it would run it, but like
Not good.
not good.
Yeah.
And to the point where it was like, this is a problem. I'm not going to be able to like play this game and like be good at it because screen tearing, and it's like a lot of times I don't know what's going on because the frame rate's going fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I had a PlayStation 4 and it's like, fuck it, man. Maybe I'll just get one of those adapters for the mouse and keyboard. And then I looked at the price and they were like $200. And it was like, Overwatch doesn't matter that much to me.
The one I saw for Switch, for some reason, it has like this little thing, and it's got 4 ports in it. One's for mouse, one's for keyboard, and one is for the Pro controller.
Interesting.
And you have to plug in the Pro controller while you're playing.
So it's tricking the Switch into thinking that it's a Pro controller?
From a Pro controller.
Interesting.
So, and I saw the little demo of it. The guy was playing like Lego Harry Potter or something, but it was working. I mean, he was just walking around.
Interesting.
So I don't know, man. I mean, that might be a thing. I think the thing I saw, it came with like one of those little movement keyboards and a mouse and the adapter.
Like
the little half keyboard things that people...
And not the mouse combined, right? They're separate.
No, they're separate devices, but it's not a full keyboard.
Gotcha.
It's like this.
Yeah, it makes sense if
keys.
it's mapping keys to the controller.
Which is really all you would need.
Right.
You know, it's just whatever you would normally have on your left hand.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought maybe I'll look into that.
That's pretty neat.
But
do a little video on that.
Maybe. I just bought it because it was $10 and it's Quake and I wanted to play Quake.
Is there online multiplayer in it?
Yes.
Oh god, have you done it?
I have not done it. No, I can't right now.
Yeah.
I gotta either get good with these sticks or get a keyboard and mouse.
Trial by fire,
fuck.
baby. You'll get so much better if you just jump into it.
I agree. I'm just...
You'll get... I get upset, but that's what always happens to me in fighting games. Is like, I know I'll get better if I just start playing real people, but it's hard to.
I bought it at like 4:00 this afternoon and played it for 10 minutes, and I had to finish up work and then came here. So
I was waiting for the AM or PM after 4:00 because there's 2 different mindsets. Yeah, when I buy shit at 4 a.m., that's usually when the weird purchases happen.
That one was that one came. Gage messaged me about it.
Yeah,
and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I actually was like, I hope this is like $30.
So you have an excuse not to buy it. Yeah.
It was $10. I was like,
is that $10 normal or is it on sale for $10?
It's just $10.
Fuck, man. That's
probably could have waited a month and it'd have been $6 or something.
I don't know, man. It's pretty rare for that kind of stuff to go on sale on the Switch, but
it's $10 for Quake.
Yeah, man.
Why not?
Yeah, dude. If you're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, I got started on it and I liked it. Okay, it plays well. I mean, it plays as well as you think it would on the Switch. I mean, it's not like
it's not struggling.
No, not with Quake.
Quake came out in what, like 97
ish.
That's a guess. I don't know, but I'm trying to think how old I was when I was playing. What computer I was playing it on.
But I think I played Quake at the Dollar House with Diablo and Duke Nukem.
Yeah, I remember having a computer that could barely play Quake very well. You know, at high res.
That shit ran great on my Packard Bell, Ian.
Shake had to tell me all about. He's like, okay, see the boxes of nails you pick up. All right, well, over here where it's this NIN, this 9-inch nails. Do you know what 9-inch nails are talking? He had to tell me all about
all about 9-inch nails.
Yeah.
Did he? So he had it. He owned it.
Mm-hmm.
Did he own a legit copy?
I want to say he did.
Because the reason I ask is because
we didn't know how to not get a legit copy back then. So.
Okay. It was years later that I learned that Trent Reznor did the soundtrack, and I was like, "There's a soundtrack to Quake," because I had a ripped copy that didn't have the soundtrack. So.
Oh, I think he got Shake into 9-inch nails because he found out what it was and had the games. That would make sense why he did get really into 9-inch nails for a while.
And I remember, like you mentioned in Diablo, like I remember getting a Diablo demo and then cracking that demo to play the full game. Like that was like back in the days of like, I don't have a job and I like video games and I know how to find cracks and shit online. So it's fucking game on.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Now I don't do it because it's like, even when I talk to people about it, now I don't do it because it's like, well, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not 16 anymore.
I'm not a minor.
And it's like, right, yeah, I'm not a minor, exactly. I can be tried as an adult now. And
plus, everything's over the internet, and they're going to know that it's me. I don't know.
Right.
1996.
96.
Was when Quake came
so
out.
So sixth grade, that lines up. I beat Hollow Knight.
Nice.
I got, there are 5 endings. I missed the first ending, which is the shittiest ending where you beat it too early. I missed that one, but I got the two non DLC endings.
Did you get the super hard one you were talking about last week, where you have to like beat that super crazy boss?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'm working on it. So, because they have the first full game of Hollow Knight, then there's the Grim Troop expansion, and then the God Tuner or God Nest expansion. So I beat the base game. I did the Grim Troop stuff, which was all beautiful and fantastic. And then I beat the game. So there is a segment. I mean, I love this game. I think Hollow Knight is fucking fantastic. But toward the end, there's a place called the White Palace. And I get into the White Palace. I'm in there for like 20 minutes. And it's like, if I wanted to play Super Meat Boy, I would have played Super Meat Boy, because it is it's a frustratingly dumb ripoff. It's the only negative thing I can say about Hollow Knight. It's just out of nowhere, you go into this place and it's just fucking buzzsaws.
Complete
everywhere.
departure, I'm assuming.
Complete departure over what it has been. And it's you doing super careful and precise platforming in between buzzsaws and shit like that.
Is it optional or
no? You've got to do it to beat the game. I was
see.
like, this is so weird
Is it-
that they've put this in here.
is it a gate? Like, do you feel like it's training for shit that's going to come later that you no?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Completely separate than anything you've done. I found, I was having trouble with it. I looked online. It's like, does everybody else hate this as much as I do? Okay, yeah, a lot of people also hate this just as much as I do.
Yeah.
And there's a charm combination you can put on that makes it, a lot easier. And I did that and got through it.
Is that what Jacob was warning you about, you think?
I think Jacob and Josh are both, maybe, but I think they were specifically talking about the final boss. The final boss, I'm not going to lie. The final boss is incredibly hard.
Yeah.
One of the more difficult final bosses that I've encountered in video games. Normally, like, there's a side boss that's harder, or the final boss. If I've gotten an RPG, I'm a little over leveled. Like, I never really struggle that much with any final boss. This was hard. I did psych myself out, though, because at work, I don't like working in silence in my office at all. I have to have something going. So I was watching a guy discuss all this, the Hollow Knight community and the modding community, and how they just constantly up the challenges and shit, and that this one guy modded the final boss in such a way that it was a joke. It's supposed to be an unbeatable joke. Well, people were like, fuck that, I could beat this. And it's the quest of the top 5 players in the world eventually beating, only 5 people have ever done it to beat this version of the boss. So I watched them go through and all the shit they did to get as good as they are, and then how they each did their own separate thing over months to break down and beat this boss, because it's so incredibly difficult. So I thought that final boss was going to be something similar to that boss.
You hadn't fought it yet?
I hadn't fought it yet.
Gotcha.
So, but I did all the steps and got to where you fight the Hollow Knight, and then there's sort of I can see where Josh said it was a Deus Ex Machina, but it's not. What's cool and simultaneously kind of frustrating about Hollow Knight is it does not lead you around by the nose at all in its lore. You have to explore and put stuff together. You probably have to keep like a fucking notepad to write hints down and shit to put the lore together. But
how important is the lore? I mean, is it just for your enjoyment, or does it
pretty
have,
much just for your enjoyment. You don't have to. There's an optional ending if you find a piece of lore and then chase it to its conclusion.
I see. And like, I'm assuming there are hints and stuff buried in that lore that you have to find. Okay.
So I can see where he thought it was a Deus Ex Machina. I thought it was. I didn't really know why I had to do what I did. But you basically fight a version of a corrupted god, and it is fucking hard.
Yeah.
It is fucking hard. But whenever I finally beat it, I was like, oh, this is only half the fight. Like, I was gearing myself and psyching myself out to, it's gonna be the hardest fucking boss I've ever placed as a gamer in my life.
Yeah.
And then it was only half of what I thought it was going to be. So then I was like, fuck. Okay. All right. Now it's done. Okay, cool. I beat it. All right. Well, I thought I had 2 more because they're like 2 or 3 phases in the modded version. There's like 1.5 in the real version. So I thought it was going to be different, but I beat it the good way and the bad way. Which are both interesting, and then I went ahead and did the God DLC to where I found it. I didn't know what it was until I looked it up, but like at the bottom of the city, there's like the junk pit where all the refuse from because basically Hollow Knight was a loose assemblage of all these different tribes of insects that didn't have much to do with each other. And then a king swooped in and basically brute force united them all together into a single kingdom. Some closed themselves off, some rebelled and fought back, some just assimilated. But at the bottom of the city he forged out of, making them create is this junk pit. So eventually I randomly found the junk pit on my own and I didn't know it was down there. And there's a sarcophagus that is all wrapped up in chains and locked. And
Anima's in there.
Yeah. And then eventually I found the key and then I looked it up and I was like, oh, that's the DLC. Okay. I went and unlocked it and like a dead god falls out. And then you have this thing called the dream nail to where you can go into people's minds and read their minds. So you go into the god's mind and access the god realm. You go ascend to their heaven. And then that's where it's 3 very difficult boss gauntlets that you go through. And then you have to put on like, essentially in Hades, turn the heat up on each one to max.
It's just boss gauntlets?
Yeah, it's just boss
gauntlets. Can I do that without playing the real game, or do you have to like get through the real game?
Well, you have to beat that boss in the real game to unlock them in the...
Because I'm not about the Metroidvania, but I am about a boss rush, because I do really like boss rushes. I'd be interested
You
to
can just play mine then.
I might do that.
I'll show you all the charms. I went through and collected all the charms and all the grubs and all the heart containers and magic containers, essentially, and all that shit.
Cool.
I've beaten 2 of the 3 boss gauntlets because it was like, I'm not normally a boss. I do love a good boss fight, but a boss gauntlet I don't normally like so much. But these I did, and it's fun and has new bosses, like characters you just meet in the game that aren't bosses. Are now secret bosses in this that are really fun because the bosses are fun in this game.
And I said I like boss gauntlets. That's not true. I like boss rush games. Like like there's a difference there because
really like ActRaiser and.
Right. Yeah. God, fuck. The end of ActRaiser just is the worst. It's the fucking worst. Yeah.
But like Mega Man, on the other hand,
still not great, honestly. But like when the game is all about like, because to me like Punch Out's a boss rush essentially because it's just one big fight after one big fight after one big fight, and obviously you get the rest between them. But I mean that's all it is.
Yeah.
Punch Out's just boss fights. And it's like they're fun boss fights.
I never thought of it that way.
There's no filler.
Exactly right.
Yeah, no filler. There's no point where you're side scrolling as Little Mac. You know what I mean? It's just
where you have to ride the bike and jump over things.
Alternate
and
A and B and go.
Which if anyone other than Nintendo had made that game at that time, that's absolutely what it would have been. And everybody be like, God, when can I just fight King Hippo? You know? It's like.
So because you have to beat all 3 of these pantheons of the gods. And then you also turn on the heat to max on everyone. And once you beat all of them with max heat, then you can unlock the even more difficult version of the final boss that you fought in the normal game.
Do you think that's where Hades got it? The heat mechanic?
It could be. I mean, it's pretty. It's not called heat, but it's just like, okay, now your nail only does half damage.
Gotcha.
You only have half your magic. Your jump is only 3/4 of what it was.
I don't play enough of those kinds of games to know like the history of that. Like, because like in Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, things just get harder, right? I mean, you're not really like nerfed, but I feel like in Hades, like when you turn the heat on, like, I mean, I guess it does. It's both ways. It gets harder, and you kind of weaken yourself.
Two different ways of heat, or constrain your time, or shit like that.
That's
heat works in a lot of different ways.
I wonder what the history of that mechanic.
You're right. I don't have any idea. It's good.
Hades was my first experience with something like that, so I wouldn't have the slightest idea. And I mentioned last week, the heat bit from Hades was for me was just like
It got to a
tired
point
of it.
where I was done with it. Yeah.
It did get ridiculously hard, and I'm not about that life, man.
Yeah.
Although I am doing more in Hollow Knight than I thought I would. I figured I'd beat it and be done, but I still want to keep playing it, which is that is a big outlier for me.
It's like Rogue Legacy style for you. Yeah.
it is. It is like Rogue, because Rogue Legacy I had to keep going until I got all the
man,
achievements and beat all the bosses, and so it is scratching that itch. So I don't put it in the same league as Rogue Legacy.
You
but
don't?
No. I only put Hades and Rogue Legacy are on the same level for me. Hollow Knight's maybe just a few tiers lower. I do enjoy it because, I mean, Hollow Knight frustrates me in that the bosses are fun and challenging, but like the save points and shit are so far away. If you lose, there's so much shit you have to go through just to try
get
again.
back.
When I
That's
just want to fight
frustrating.
the boss.
Like Final Fantasy IV hard version. That's what I hear is like like one of the big things that like in Final Fantasy IV, like the Japanese version is like in the last dungeon, it's like there's a save point and then there's an hour of content and then the final boss. And it's like if you die, you're doing all that shit over again. I don't know. I've never played the Japanese version.
That's
I'd
what
like
I'd be
to
like, walk
sometime,
out, beat one boss, warp back to the same point, and then walk back into the second one, warp back to the same point.
Yeah.
But that's the only negative thing I have to say about it. So I'm working on it now. I'd like to beat the harder version of the final boss and unlock those two endings
Yeah. Cool.
that you can get there. But I did go ahead and I was like, I don't feel like I really get the lore of this game. So I watched a YouTube video where a guy it's like a 2-hour long video, and he breaks everything down to what everyone, because the lore, it's also kind of obtuse. You really have to dig into it. So sources of that's why it's
some of the things you say are just like, I don't think I'd like this at all.
That's why it's way better
all.
to play it because it's fun,
Yeah.
and then watch this video. For
Yeah,
the lore,
right.
And then
Yeah.
don't try to figure it out
Just
yourself.
listen to it in the background as I play the
Yep.
game. Yeah.
Yep. Because I watched that video while I was working. It's just like, man, there's a lot of shit I missed, and this is really fucking good lore. There's so much shit behind Hollow Knight. They're like, damn, this
Why
is
are they
like,
hiding it?
Yeah, why are you hiding it so much? Because it's really, really good. And I would have never, once he explains, it's like, oh, that does make sense. It's shit I wouldn't have put together at all. Because, like, I mean, some stuff I did get, like, there are 3, like, they had to seal up the Hollow Knight. He's hollow because he contains this insanity.
Because his brother sealed his soul inside his armor.
Pretty much. So he's trying to hold back this insanity that ruined the civilization, and he sealed away with these 3 individuals that gave their lives to be these living seals. So you have to go kill those people to unseal him and kill him.
Interesting.
So there's one that I was able, I put it together with the spiders. The spiders in the game are fucking. It is creepy, and it is scary, and it is super tense when you go into the spiders part of the village. So there's like someone called the midwife, who is just like this black sludgy spider in a mask. They all wear masks,
Right. I've seen
So
that.
like she comes out, like you wouldn't expect. She just kind of comes out of one of the walls and drops these weird hints of lore, and then I find the seal that is the spider, and she's basically made a deal to where she is asleep and she's just a come blind fuck slave, where she's just being bred unconsciously to make millions of spiders.
Mad Max style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fury Road.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. Like it made me like, man, I could absolutely take choice bits of this that I really like and make a very cool, dark 5e game out of this.
I mean, it sounds pretty damn dark.
So.
I want to look at Mouse Guard and like modify Mouse Guard, because Mouse Guard's kind of like, it's not dark, but it's definitely set up for small creatures, you know, like.
That's what I like about like the nail being it. There's another character named Hornet who turns out is your character's like half sister. That her weapon is a needle and thread. So she uses the sewing needle like a nail, but she also throws it with thread and then will pull it back and make shit that she just dips around in, and like
Cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, it sounds cool. I know people on Discord are excited that you're playing with it. There are a lot of fans of Hollow Knight on the TADPOG.
Supposedly the
Discord.
sequel is about that character.
Yeah, that's not out yet, right?
Nope.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, when's that coming out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are upset about the lack of information on it, but I've seen some trailers and like it looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
But Team Cherry is also the developers. Like all these endings are equally canon. They all exist inside a vacuum. So
It's a multiverse.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know what ending this sequel is based off.
Well, whatever one they choose, that's going to be the canon.
That'd be the one people
it's
say.
like almost like with like Mortal Kombat, where it's like, okay, Liu Kang won the first one.
Yeah.
Because like in Mortal Kombat 2, it's like that's the precedent.
Yeah.
It's like Liu Kang won. So, but whatever. That's Mortal Kombat. I mean, like I think the Mortal Kombat lore is actually kind of interesting.
Oh,
as
I do
fucking
too.
ridiculous as it is, it's not. It's different, obviously, than like Hollow Knight,
Yeah, it's nuts, but it's cool.
right? So, yeah.
But I mean, Hollow Knight, like, and there is like I'll unlock this Steel Soul mode where it's like if you die, that's it. That'll reset.
Hardcore mode.
Yeah, but I'm not
Permadeath?
I'm not doing that shit. I'm not going to achievement chase this game or anything.
Oh, that's
like,
an achievement. Yeah, to
beating
finish.
it in that mode,
Fuck, man.
beating it in under 10 hours, and like I'm not going to do any of that. I really like it. I don't like it that
You don't
much.
like it that much, yeah.
So I want to beat this DLC and beat the hardest version of the boss, then I'll be done with it.
Now, by hardest version of the boss, do you mean the modded?
No, not the
version?
modded one. The hardest unmodded one. Because
Okay.
that, like, for people, the best players in the world to spend months grinding it
Yeah.
out to beat this joke boss. So I watched it and it was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Lots of memorization, I'm assuming,
Oh,
right?
and randomness. And
Oh, really? You had to
Because
do-
like, I can see, like, you can kind of figure out the patterns to beat the first form of the boss. But the second form, you're climbing these platforms while he is shooting these beams of light at you. But they're highly telegraphed in the regular game. They're not telegraphed at all in the modded version. So you're always going to die. You're always going to take hit point loss.
They're not insta kills.
No.
That's good.
And they're just trying to mitigate because you need to be on full health when you get to the next form of the boss. Otherwise, you're just fucking dead.
Yeah.
So,
Phew.
yeah.
Well, congratulations on finishing it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what it's going to take me a little while to beat all these bosses on all the hardest modes. I might even give up. I don't know, but so
Yeah.
far it's still fun. When it stops being fun, I'll quit.
Man, you saying Deus Ex Machina was like reminded me of like, so I'm watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood on your recommendation. Nikki and I are both really enjoying it so much that we've like upped the one episode per day to like we'll do the one episode per day, and then if we feel like it later, we'll watch a couple here and there.
Fantastic.
My mom like watched Henry. She wanted to hang out with Henry one Saturday, so it's like, well, they were hanging out at the park. We watched like 3 episodes of it. I like it a lot, but man, the second, like, I guess you call it like the act or second season of it, like gets real. Like there's a moment there where it's like where they start introducing the characters from the East, and it's like there's a whole bunch of them all of a sudden.
Yep.
Like, I mean,
Yep.
stuff like that kind of like gets under my skin a little bit because it's like I wish they would have like worked these in slowly over the as opposed to here's the first episode of the second season, here's a whole bunch of new shit.
I feel like the first season we're gonna get past, all that filler bullshit that they came up with the first. So we're gonna blow through that. Now here's our shit to get here. It all is.
So is that it? Is that like so the second season essentially that's new stuff? Because
Yep.
I never finished the original Full Metal.
Oh yeah, all that shit is pretty much. I mean, there's bits and pieces of it, but they pretty much get past all of the original stuff we saw on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
They get past that in the first season.
Okay.
That's why the only thing the rip your heart out moment.
Yeah.
They don't do that as well in Brotherhood.
it
That's
doesn't hit
that's
the
the
same.
only negative thing I can say about Brotherhood because it is way more impactful in
And it
the
did
Adult Swim.
and it did feel rushed. I mean, it felt the pacing was real
Yep,
real
I think
fast.
they just want to
and-
get through it to
yeah.
get to the manga stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Well, now I know the answer to why it seemed like that. Because
Yep.
I mean, we were both just kind of like, man, there's like a whole bunch of new characters like all at once, and it's like,
Yeah, and they're different homunculi,
Yeah.
totally different characters and shit like that.
Yeah.
They're totally,
it's really good. We're really enjoying
Yeah.
it. That's the only thing that was kind of like, that's kind of weird. But yeah, it's cool.
love it. Man, it makes me want to watch Brotherhood again because I've only watched it that one time.
It's real good.
It's real good.
Yeah, it's real good, turns out. Yeah. Also, like, yeah, well, I'll get into that later. This is a Joe and Mac podcast.
Oh, yeah. Well, you hear that, Dave?
I do. Sounds like several reanimated souls put in armor, one of which is really confusing because they capture him, and I don't know why. That's another Deus Ex Machina thing where it's like he just pops out again. What, like number 66 or whatever? the butcher.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, well, there he is for whatever reason, who
Yep.
just happens to be attacking someone in the military who's like second in command for, all right, whatever.
Yeah, yep.
I'll go along with it. I like this enough to suspend my disbelief.
Barry the Butcher.
Right. Which is actually weirdly like the first time you meet him, like super not great, but I don't know. The longer he's around with the supporting cast, the more it's like they're really doing a good job of making him kind of like comic relief.
It's nice to see a good serial killer comic relief.
That's totally what it is. Of course, I hear that, which ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia. Guys, Joe and Mac, also known as Caveman Ninja and Caveman Ninja Joe and Mac, is a 1991 platform game.
Ninja.
It's a 19.
That's some me in fourth grade shit if I've ever heard.
Yeah. That's not a mashup you see a lot.
No.
That's two genres that typically are
They
separated.
rarely cross.
Yeah, yeah. Can we name any other caveman ninjas? And Naruto, is there a caveman ninja?
No.
Prehistoric ninja? The original man? I don't know. Was Adam a caveman?
Was Adam?
Yeah.
He was a guard man.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Caveman Ninja Joe and Mac is a 1991 platform game released for arcades by Data East. It was later adapted for the Super Nintendo, Mega Drive / Genesis, NES, Game Boy, Amiga, Zebo.
Zebo.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing.
I think pretty sure he played like Jizz on Jabba's barge, right?
Yeah.
Max was
Rebo.
Yeah, Zebo's his cousin. The Nintendo Switch and PC.
This was on PC.
Yeah, apparently it had one of the best arcade ports. Was the PC version. This game got so many ports. Data East was like fucking slapping it at this point in time.
Yeah.
Because of this, I was like, man,
This bad boy can fit so many ports. Yeah.
so many fucking caveman ninjas.
Slaps hood.
But like, because they did, of course, Burger Time and Bad Dudes, RoboCop, Karate Champ. Like they were really on a roll, like super successful in the arcade division. And then they were like, in 1985, they were like, you know what? We need to make more money. We're going to get into pinballs. Yeah, there's a cricket. I don't know if anybody at home can hear the cricket or
It's a
not.
very distressed.
We have a new character, a new character in TADPOG archives. You guys could name them. I don't know. So they bought the pinball division of Stern Electronics. You guys have heard of Stern?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they like just started going all in on pinball. They were like, all right, pinball. And they started getting these.
3 more times Chris Edler comes.
Yeah.
Pinball.
He is the pinball Beetlejuice. We all know that. But there's like, so they go all in on pinball and they start like, fuck it, man. Let's get the license to like Jurassic Park. Let's get the license to all these properties, all these super expensive properties. And they do that and they do really cool stuff. Like they're like, fuck, man. Why can't we like put stereo systems in the pinball machines? And they're like, all right, let's fucking do that. How about hell yeah? And they're like, I don't know, man. How about we invent the dot matrix display that pinball machines like still
No
fucking
shit.
use? Yeah. And
Oh, that's
so,
cool.
So they innovated that.
I didn't know that.
And then the pinball market fell the fuck apart.
yeah.
And they were like, how do we pay for all this? And the answer is they didn't. And they sold all that shit back to Stern. And now they're bankrupt. So that's what happened to Data East.
Okay. Thanks a lot, pinball.
Karnov. I forgot to mention Karnov.
Karnov.
Yeah, another
Yeah,
Data East
yeah.
classic. So there we go.
Interstates, man.
Yeah, think about it.
Because I mentioned that I had a long history with this game because it was the first Super Nintendo game I ever rented. I rented it a lot.
On the Super Nintendo?
On the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was, and I was telling Melissa about this. She was also perplexed about, I got my Super Nintendo living in this house where I am right now. So all the proximity works exactly the same. Because I mentioned before that like There is a food giant that used to be a Piggly Wiggly a few minutes away. My parents had no problem renting me a game there.
Yeah.
But they only had Super Mario World and Addams Family.
Right.
All they had. So I rented Addams Family a fucking lot.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Because
But-
you probably owned Super Mario World.
I did.
Right.
I did. So further in
And then they bought you Addams Family. Like, hey, you rent this all the time. You must love it.
Yay! This game that I've rented a dozen times and have still never beat more than one level because it's fucking incredibly hard.
Yeah.
That's one of the first, when I got a Game Genie, like one of the first games I got and beat was Addams Family on that Game Genie. It terrorized me so much.
I just want to see more
I
levels.
want to see what happens when I get Grandma. I've never gotten Grandma. And then, because over by where you live, there was the movie hut over on South Side.
Yeah.
That they had everything.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom and dad were like, that, like it's a flight to fucking Europe to go over to that movie hut.
Let's call them right
would
now,
not.
and I'll explain that I drive that distance once a week, and I don't understand what the fuck their problem is.
Oh yeah, because they would like it was the worst. Like it had to be a special occasion for them to drive out there because they hated that like the next day they'd have to drive out again.
Yeah.
You know, to return the
return
game.
To return
Cartridge,
it.
yeah.
And let's actually not call them because I can totally see Henry asking. I'd be like, dude, we're not driving 15 minutes for whatever bullshit you want. Like when we're out there already, sure, yeah, we'll stop by, but we're making a 30-minute fucking round trip for some bullshit Roblox shit.
Because and then even when the Super Nintendo first came out, they only had they had Super Mario World, Pilot Wings,
Fuck yeah.
Joe and Mac, and maybe like a sports game. So of course it was like, all right, Joe and Mac, all right, and I loved Joe and Mac.
Yeah.
Loved it. I never beat it as a kid.
Yeah.
I remember each time I beat it, I got a little bit further. I remember sitting in my living room playing it, just sweating and being so excited, like, fuck, I beat that fucking mammoth, finally. And then, of course, I was out of lives,
God,
dead the
that
very
fucking
next
mammoth.
time.
Put a pin in that.
I got a couple of things to say about
That mammoth.
Senior Mammoth.
Dude, I remember playing this game, the arcade. I never played the Super Nintendo version, but I remember playing the arcade version with cousin David Galino of executive producer fame in a Kmart vestibule. Like, I can't remember if he was visiting me or if I was visiting him, but anytime we would get together, it was a video game binge. And I have so many fucking like fond memories of like being over at his house and like binging on all the shit I couldn't binge on at home. Fucking, he had Marble Madness. And we'd fucking do Marble Madness, and we'd do fucking Snake Rattle and Roll. We'd go Rampage. We'd rent a game. I mean, it was just like fucking on, man.
yeah.
It's like sleepover, fucking crank to 11, where it's like, because we're family, and it's like, we can both like tag team his mom, you know, and be like, well, my mom lets us do this at home, and like just lie and everything. just whatever. All bets were off. We rented Double Dragon 2. That's the night that he peed the bed. I remember that.
yeah.
So like all of these like things are just kind of like baked in, you know, and because of that, I've got like super fond memories of Joe and Mac. I totally remember playing Joe and Mac with him and us being just like, holy shit, this is like a cartoon. We're like playing a cartoon.
It had a good 2-player mode and the 2-player super game where you could fucking kill each other.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I didn't get to try that I would have liked to have tried is a
The
two-player
two-player mode.
mode on that one because obviously I just played single player and I would have liked to have seen the 2-player mode. I think it would have made things easier.
Yeah, I
Oh,
would have liked to have
definitely.
seen it on the Super Nintendo because I played single player on Super Nintendo, and there are moments where it's like the frame rate kind of like it's struggling a little bit, and it's like if you add another person to that mix,
You get one more pterodactyl in that room.
right? Yeah, what's gonna happen?
I don't
So
think
know.
I would have had that. I never had that problem, but I played on
Yeah.
Switch.
On the Switch,
so
yeah.
I was handling it fine.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I was playing on a Super Nintendo, so it wasn't horrible, but there were definitely moments where it's like there's too much shit on the screen.
well, yeah, there were times when you had some upwards of 5 to 7 enemies plus like
Plus your own projectiles.
Oh, which I'm
yours
spamming.
and-
Yep.
spamming the boomerang, spamming the fucking
wheel.
bones that you throw. I don't know what those are supposed to be. They're just bones.
The fucking wheel is my weapon.
Wheel is
the
wheel is
wheel.
bay.
I got it early and never got off of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that motherfucker
There's no point.
rolls through everything. It goes down the cliff and across and up the cliff and climbs the stairs and kills shit. And you can like
Yeah.
Alone or in
follow it.
pairs.
Yeah.
Rolls
yeah.
over the neighbor's dog.
It's powerful. So like those little dinosaurs, those mini dinosaurs that would
Like the little
mini
T-Rex
T-Rexes,
babies, yeah.
You know, you'd have to hit them
So many fucking
so many times.
The bone.
But with the wheel, you hit them twice, gone.
Yeah.
And yeah.
The fire's good too. I like the
Fire was
fire too,
powerful. I just
especially
didn't
against
like-
the plant boss. Dude, you use the fire against the plant boss, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. It's dead.
Seymour.
Right? Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I remember like seeing that movie the first time at a neighbor's house. Very like it's like imagine Ned Flanders, but instead of two boys, he had a girl, and I would hang out with her. That's where I don't know. I remember we talking about Mr. Boogedy, and also like the Bible Adventures games, like
Yes,
that.
yes.
That was the house where it's like you guys can play whatever you
I
want.
remember you-
but
yeah.
first you have to do 10 minutes of this Bible game. So you can watch the never-ending story, but first 10 minutes of this Bible game. And it was every time we would go over, and it's like it was to the point where like the girl would enforce it, and I'm like, your parents aren't even home, and she's like, they'll know.
They'll come home and see our Christian meters low. So
Oh my God, the love of Jesus is very low in you. And did you not play the Bible game?
You have to sing, bringing in the sheaves. Go straight Rod and Todd over there.
Yes, I remember seeing Little Shop. I love Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
love
Oh my
Little
God.
Shop of Horrors. I remember seeing it over at her house for the first time. We would hang out in the basement. And man, they had an Apple II and everything. I mean, that shit was like that fucking house was like great.
they were
It was
set
great.
up.
If they weren't so goddamn Christian, it would have been fucking paradise. But because I mean, everything had strings attached to it. You
Right,
know what I
right.
mean? And it's like,
now you see how it all works.
it's like, yes, we do have an Apple II. Would you like to play it? Here, play this Bible game for 10 minutes.
Let's go to church. Come on.
Yeah, right. And it's like,
Would you like to stay over? We're going to church in the morning.
right.
You can play the Apple II as much as you want during the
Yes.
night.
yeah, no, that's totally a thing. Yeah, absolutely. I remember seeing that. I remember seeing Little Shop of Horrors for the first time over at her house in the basement and fucking loving it. But when at the end, when Audrey 2 says, no shit, Sherlock, I remember being like,
Oh God.
they're coming.
God.
Like I thought
They're
like,
gonna
it was
know.
Like,
They're gonna know.
The parents are gonna like fucking kick the door in, and yeah, I mean, I was
45 minutes of this Bible game to watch that
Right.
to watch that out.
And we hated that fucking Bible game because, of course, we did. It fucking wasn't fun at all.
Yep.
Just make a fun Bible game. How about that? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
Oh, no, they don't have to because it's like, well, it'll skate on being a Bible game. It doesn't have to be good. People will buy it because it's a Bible game. We don't have to try. Cash cow. Here we go, idiots.
I know, right? But I mean, like, meanwhile, you've got me who's like, I hate the Bible. I'm 39 years old, and it's like, fuck the Bible. I've had too much Bible.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, the wheel was effective against the big plant. It was effective against all the bosses.
The bosses are huge in this
They're
game.
huge.
They're enormous.
And you want to, I mean, if you don't have something pretty powerful, you could be working a boss for
A long time.
minute.
Because it's basically like what we were talking about, what you don't like in between the little bullshit between boss fights, because it's a little bitty shitty level between a big fun boss fight.
Yeah.
Set on like a grid that you walk.
Yeah, but I don't think. I don't think the levels are that shitty, and I honestly don't think that the boss fights are that involved. Like they're not like Mike Tyson's Punch Out level of like
you
boss
just
fights.
hit 'em.
They're
No,
like,
You just hit them.
I had some nostalgia checked for me going back
Did
to
you?
playing this game. Yeah. Because I remember it being this slow and blocky and stiff. Because like some of that jumping is really fucking slow. The movement's really slow.
well, dude, the fact that you do a super jump by like pressing up and
up.
jump. Look, we were playing this on a Super Nintendo controller. There are fucking more than 2 buttons. But they're like, no, man, B and A, just jump. Y and X throws your weapon. That's all you get. And it's like, okay, why don't you map the super jump? And I had the same problem with Super Adventure Island. Map that shit to a button, to a face button, so that I'm not like constantly, because what'll happen is the enemies will fly up above you. And it's like you can throw your weapon up. That's good. That's nice. I like that. But sometimes they're flying too high up and you have to jump and throw your weapon up.
But if you jump too high or not high enough because you didn't press up just right, you miss or you get hit by them.
And my problem would be I would be pressing up too early, and then do a super jump. And when you're doing a super jump, you cannot throw your weapon. Nope. So it's like anytime it would happen, it was like, oh great, I'm hit. And you have to just wait for it because it's like you have to wait till like the animation to play out, and then it's like, all right, there it is.
Pretty slow. I do love how enemies and bosses, when you hit them enough for them hit their pain threshold, their eyes bug out and they all have their
yeah.
It's cartoonish, and I do like that. I mean, and I do think that the Super Nintendo version like really carried that over. I think what's really, really cool, and I want to know what the reason for this is. For whatever reason, Data East liked the Super Nintendo. I don't know if it's because they felt like the products would sell better on the Super Nintendo or what, but Data East, for all the ports, Data East published all of them. They developed one, and that one was for the Super Nintendo. I didn't know this until I was doing research for this fucking episode. Congo's Caper, a fucking game that I didn't even know existed until we started doing this show and we started seeing it on like ROM lists and shit like that.
That's the true sequel.
That is Joe and Mac 2 in Japan.
That's so weird.
And Joe and Mac 3 in Japan is Joe and Mac 2 Lost in the Tropics. Data East published and developed all three of those. Congo's Caper only came out on the Super Nintendo. Joe and Mac Lost in the Tropics only came out on the Super Nintendo. So I don't know. I want to know what that relationship was, or like why. Did they just have a good relationship with Nintendo, or did they just like developing for it? Did the shit just sell better?
They did that shit early. This game does play like it's a game made in 91. Like it is definitely very early, still figuring shit out. Yeah. So I mean, they got it on the ground floor. Let's just hit this running. It's what everybody's talking about.
Yeah, they do cool shit with it, I feel like. I mean, there's like you can press left or right twice to do like this somersault move that not only makes you move faster, but hurts enemies. I think that's neat. It's like a little Sonic the Hedgehog thing. You can also, what's kind of weird, but also kind of cool, is like you can stand on the enemies' heads, like Super Mario Brothers 2 style.
Like any enemy. Like you can stand on the pterodactyls, the cavemen, even the jumping cavemen. Like you can use them to get up to higher levels. Yeah, and I didn't utilize that a whole bunch because half the time I was killing them before.
Right,
and then they won't
you gotta
respawn.
Be careful. I mean, you'll get hit so quickly if you don't just immediately try to.
Yeah, and if you try to, it's a lot of planning to utilize an enemy to get an objective like a 1-up or a weapon or something, because if you kill them, they don't respawn, which is nice in a way. Yeah. I mean, it's like, okay, at least I don't have to deal with that. If I turn around and go back the other direction, they're not coming again.
Sure.
Which was okay, but yeah, you got to kind of know what to use the enemies for. And you know, I thought there was some inconsistencies, like the whole pterodactyl thing, where it takes you up to the level to get the keys to unlock the special rooms in the overworld.
Right. Which the overworld they added for the Super Nintendo game. That wasn't like in the arcade.
Oh, okay.
So like the arcade was just straight up like just the levels.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was a little obtuse because sometimes the pterodactyl, the one that carries you up there, would come out. Sometimes it wouldn't. And you had mentioned that if it's a red egg, you got to make sure all the enemies are off screen first. Maybe
that's what the instruction manual said in like the tips section. I, of course, like a dummy, read the instruction manual after I played the game, so I can't confirm.
Speaking of instruction manual,
oh yeah, what's the story of this game? Also, using like the pterodactyls as platforms, and sometimes they do respawn, and I think it's nice because like the last level, you have to platform on pterodactyls forever. Like it goes on for so long.
Okay.
Where it's just like, do I live here now?
So
like
that's part of the level design, though.
It is part of the level design. When it's required, they respawn. Okay. When it's just to get like 1-ups and shit like that, they don't respawn.
It took me forever to figure out that I could press select to switch between the weapons. I thought,
what?
I didn't.
What you can do? I didn't know that.
When you pick them up,
I didn't know this either.
When you pick them come up and you're not dead,
Yeah.
like when you don't die, your weapons will show up on the little inventory screen on the overworld. There's
Oh
like
my
all 4
God,
weapons.
yeah.
You keep those. And so when you go into the
So
next
you can
level,
change it on
you
the
can
overworld.
switch to whichever weapon you want.
Oh
Boomerang,
my
fire
God.
wheel. I found that out. And that was nice.
Yeah.
Because certain weapons are better in certain.
Yeah,
like
for
the
sure.
boomerang, you can throw out 3.
God.
You throw out 3 boomerangs, and they do damage going forward and returning. So
Yeah.
like you could have someone where you missed them, but if you missed, the thing's probably going to hit him on the way back.
Yeah.
And save you from getting tagged. But yeah, you can absolutely switch between all 4 of the weapons
Fuck,
if
man.
you have them in your inventory. And
Yeah.
when you get them, you keep them until you die.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I just assumed it was like regular shitty platformer mechanics where it's like, oh, I picked up this wheel.
because the bone is
My
all
ex-
over the
the
place,
bone
like it's a
fucking
trap.
sucks.
It's like the
Yeah.
torch in Ghosts and Goblins. Like it's
Yeah.
a trap weapon that you don't fucking
And
want
if
to
you
hit.
Yeah.
pick it up, it switches to that. Even if you've
Yeah.
already got it and you pick it up, it'll switch to that weapon, but then you can hit select to get back to the one you want.
But you have to do it on the overworld. You can't do it.
no, you do it in game.
Oh my! You can do it in the middle of the level.
At any time.
Oh my fucking god! I should have known that.
Yeah.
Because then I could be switching to because like I would get to the Audrey 2 boss, the big plant.
Yep.
And it's like I'd show up with like a boomerang and be like, well, I guess I'm just gonna be here forever
Right.
because I don't have the fire.
Yeah, you could.
God
you
damn
could,
it!
What I did. What I did with Audrey too was
Yeah.
throw the wheel at her to knock her, and then I'd switch to fire
Oh
and
my
throw some fire.
God.
Yeah, it was. I got about. I had to start over because I started on normal.
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
go back to easy.
Yeah.
It's just not my kind of game. It is, but it isn't. I just thought it was a little sloppy, like the jumping. Landing on platforms,
Sure.
really narrow
Absolutely.
platforms, I would miss
It's not
a lot.
tight.
I had to rewind a whole bunch because, like, I would miss a really narrow platform that I thought I was going to land on, stuff like that. But I don't know where I was going with that.
Oh, you were just enlightening
Oh.
us about the changing the weapons.
But yeah,
You
I
fighting
ended
the
up
plant.
having to start over, and I kept seeing all the weapons on my inventory because I was doing better at this point. Now that it's on easy, I'm understanding the game a little better. After every level, your hearts stay the same. Like if you get hit and you've got half a heart at the end of the level, you start the next level with half,
With
a,
half a
heart,
heart.
unless you go into a room where you get
Yeah, the bonus rooms. You
Bonuses.
eat meat and stuff to get your.
if you
your
found the
health up.
fucking key to get into the bonus
Oh,
rooms.
and also I think it was cool. I don't know if this was just coincidence or not, but like with the fire, I liked using the fire because it's like if I'd kill a dinosaur with fire,
Meat.
they turn
that
into meat,
was neat. I thought that was really cool.
and then you eat the meat to replenish your
Which
health,
is
and it's
not-
like that's.
Sometimes you eat a caveman, and they also turn
They also
into
turn into meat, and
Yeah.
it's like, is this okay? I don't know. I'm about to die though.
Oh, you're a
so-
caveman ninja. It's
you
fine.
gotta eat.
You know, it'd be cool because, like, when you die in this game, it's very cartoony. I know I've said that a shitload of times, but it's very cartoony. When you die, you turn into like a ghost
Little
angel
angel.
with a heart.
Yep.
I think if you eat too many cavemen, you turn into a devil and you go down to the bottom of the screen. I think that's what they should do. We need a ROM hack with like the renegade option.
Well, what I was doing though, when I would get whipped up on and into level with half a heart, after every single level, I would walk all the way back to level 1 and get meat.
and get meat.
As soon as I would get my hearts full, then I would start select out and then go create a save point and then go to the next level so I could start with full health
Yeah.
and not have to worry about losing lives because those are not in abundance.
No,
They're not.
And
you only
re-
get 3.
You only get
starting off,
3
and then-
and like there's 1-ups, but a lot of them are hard to reach. Like you got to jump on an enemy or do some weird
You're gonna take
shit
3 hits to even get to that one.
just to get to the 1-up. There's one 1-up that is literally floating over a chasm
Yeah.
that has a ledge right above it that
It's a trap.
you can't get it.
I mean, I'm sure you can get it,
You
but
can
it's like
get it,
when
but
I
you
s-
instantly die.
when I see it, it's like, no, not going for that.
I don't know if maybe that little spin move you're talking about would take you across the.
It might. I don't know.
I think some shit you have to have Joe and Mac in that super because they can jump off of each other and shit like that.
Right.
Well,
You
and
get
I
some
feel
of
like,
that.
and I feel like the boomerang was kind of a fucking missed opportunity. Why not make the boomerang capable of grabbing
fetching
stuff,
shit,
picking
yeah.
stuff up,
like Zelda
Yeah.
style? You know what I mean?
It would be cool if, if like every weapon kind of had like a special thing,
a little
where-
something
yeah.
that it did, because like the wheel does,
Right.
The wheel is
And the
just
fire
a
does.
juggernaut, and the fire does
'Cause it turns shit into meat
Exactly.
sometimes, yeah.
You'd think that the boomerang would. And especially since you could switch between the weapons, you'd think that they'd make the boomerang. So if that one up is way up there, you super jump and throw that boomerang and whatever to get it, rather than having to wait for an enemy to fly by or spend 10 or 15 minutes trying to figure out what the hook is to get up here to this thing.
And it is disappointing when you figure it out after you've killed the enemy that you need to jump off in order to get it.
And it's like, do I want to go back through this level?
No,
I really don't.
No.
But all in all, it was fine.
Yeah.
I liked it okay. I got frustrated. I used that rewind a lot because of the jumping and landing on stuff, and I felt like when you would get jumped at by one of those leaping cavemen that like jump off the screen and land.
Yeah.
You know, when you'd go to hit them before they land, you wouldn't hit them. They hit you.
Yeah. Ow.
I think I think the one thing control. I mean, it wasn't great controls anyway. It was a little clunky. I kind of had a bit of a problem with some of the sprites. I'm gonna go beat that dead horse a little bit with you there, and I thought some of them were
drag it out. I'm
too big,
down.
Too big.
a little bit in places. I mean, most of the time it's fine.
The bosses are huge.
The bosses
and
are
and I
fucking
like
enormous.
that because
They're
I mean
easy targets.
They're easy targets, and they're also. It makes sense because they're fucking dinosaurs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to
love
fight
to vomit cavemen. Fucking love to vomit cavemen.
Well, because they eat them.
Yeah.
Because there are really only three enemies in this game. You got the pterodactyls, the cavemen, and the fish, and then it's just palette swaps.
They're
One
really,
of the
yeah.
first boss will actually fire back at you what you shot at him.
And Audrey 2 will do that too.
Yeah, maybe that was what it was. But I threw wheels at them, you know, and then they shoot back wheels at me.
Right.
And those bastards hurt you as much as they hurt them.
Yeah.
So be careful what you shoot at or shoot with in that case.
You fight so many of the T-Rex, a legit full-body T-Rex, and then several palette swap T-Rex heads on just balls.
And then there's the T-Rex skeleton. Brachiosaurus
that's a boss. I thought that was a hard boss.
It was because the bones would fall.
Every
and
time
hit
you hit it, it falls
Yeah.
apart, and you have to dodge the bones.
Exactly.
And the bones are huge.
Yeah. And I figured on that one, I figured out that if you just hit him in the head, that's the one with the little platform, right?
Yeah, it has like a rib cage.
Just
that
hit
you
him.
can stand on.
Don't hit him from beneath, and those bones
that's what
never
I
fall.
learned that too.
But the one thing I was getting at, the one thing I thought was truly lacking in this game, as far as control goes, was the ability to shoot diagonally. You're either shooting straight up or straight across, but you don't get that diagonal shot, and that would have been so much more helpful.
Yeah.
The way those pterodactyls hop and fall, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just to get them at that angle would have been nice, but you if you want to hit something that's above you, you've got to be directly below it.
That is why.
Unless you use the wheel.
You're going to
which
laugh,
applies.
maybe. That is why Earthworm Jim was as huge a deal as it was. I remember when that game came out and like all the reviewers talking about you can shoot in every direction.
Gunstar Heroes, too.
Yeah. And it's like, because that was like just a thing that, I mean, Tyler, you said earlier, you could tell this game was like a 1991 game. That's just a thing that they didn't fucking do. Like even Contra
They
is
did
like.
it in Contra, though.
No, how do you shoot down in Contra?
You hold down.
You lay on the ground.
Well, that's true. You lay on the ground.
You don't shoot straight down. You're still shooting in the same
but
direction,
you can
just
shoot
lower.
diagonally in Contra.
You
couldn't
can
you?
shoot diagonally,
That's
yeah.
But
all
not
I asked
in
for.
all directions.
But not in all directions.
I know certain
And I'm
other
not-
versions of Contra eventually did that.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm
Certainly
saying.
in
If-
hardcore
if
they
they
did.
were doing diagonal shooting in Contra on the NES, then they could have added it to Joe and fucking
Yeah.
Mac, you know?
Yep.
I'm not trolling by saying this. I thought this game was super fucking easy. Like, I thought this is like the easiest game that I have played on the Super Nintendo in a really, really long time. Maybe it's because I played it in the arcade. Cousin David and I never got past the first fucking boss. I remember it being harder in the arcade, but then again, we were fucking, 10 years old.
Well, they also be trying to take them quarters. When
For sure.
Yeah, they ramped it up probably a little in the arcade because they knew you'd keep feeding it.
Well, as much money as his mom would give us.
Yeah.
But right. But
That's
yeah,
their money now.
Right. That's,
Or
yeah.
It's
It's not,
50 cents or $5. They got it from you.
but I thought it was like, this game is breezy and short. I mean, it is like,
Yeah, I didn't lose a life until I got to the mammoth. And then the fucking mammoth was like
I used the
fuck
wheel
this
on that
fucking thing.
mammoth and just destroyed that motherfucker.
He would just charge in like,
Yeah.
is he almost dead? Okay, his tusks are gone. Awesome, sweet. All right, well,
That
now his
fucking man.
nose is gone.
His fucking trunk falls off. And it is fucking, honestly, one of the most disturbing
gross,
things
yeah.
that I've experienced in video games in the last year.
His eyes are bulged out. And,
Like, it's more disturbing than anything in Hades, and that takes place in hell.
Yeah, in actual hell. Yeah, that was upsetting.
God, it's
And
horrible.
I thought it was a weird sort of divergence from the other bosses, you know? I mean,
Yeah,
they were just coming
it's
up with
different.
another prehistoric animal to
Right.
fight,
Yeah.
but
sure.
the fact that it wasn't a big, long, you know, T-Rex looking thing or
And he's pretty small,
pterodactyl.
too, compared to like
the
all the
spike
other
ball
bosses.
dinosaur.
The Ankylosaurus.
Ankylosaurus.
Yeah.
That thing was out of place to me.
It was very different,
and
and
it
then
was-
the boss is very, very different.
Yeah.
the
but-
final boss.
Yeah, the final boss, fucking Firebrand.
Firebrand. Yeah, slow Firebrand.
Now, how far past, like, you know, you go through the first level, which is like the rocky green,
Right.
and then you go into the lava level. How far does it go after? I haven't gotten past the lava level. I just
Man, there's probably like 8 levels or something. Like
Okay.
it's
like it's like a graveyard, and then you're just inside something.
so
Maybe a T-Rex.
you fight
I don't know.
You fight a T-Rex at the end.
I figured there'd be a scene where like you're walking into its mouth,
Right.
like the pipe, like Mario going from World 1-1 to 1-2. You go down the pipe and you see where you go while you're in
No,
it.
they
Like
don't
Joe
do that.
Mac, you do it, and then suddenly you're fucking inside something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to have an animation, but I do feel like it's probably like, I don't know. It's not like crazy to be like, well, I just killed a T-Rex and now we're inside something. That's probably the fucking T-Rex. I mean, but I don't know. That's where you find out that all the cavemen come from inside that T-Rex,
Yeah.
I guess. And then that is, I guess, did the T-Rex eat a demon or is it possessed by a demon?
I guess it's
or,
because you walk in, the devil. Because I guess you turn into a ghost with a harp and a halo, and there's also the devil. So there's Christianity in
Yeah. That's why I was asking.
64 million BC.
Was Adam a caveman,
Yeah,
Tyler?
he had
Answer
to-
the question.
He
Stop
had to have
dodging it.
been. You're right.
why couldn't you
Adam, Eve, Joe, and Mac.
Why couldn't you have played 10 minutes of Joe and Mac instead of this Bible game?
Man,
This is
'cause
heaven and hell stuff.
I wasn't good at
But
hustling
you
back
kill
then.
the devil.
There were no cavemen. We don't believe in that shit here.
God made Adam and Eve, not Joe and Mac.
The instruction manual.
Please,
Yes,
I want to know the
yes.
story to this game.
Hey, dudes, the babes are missing.
Oh shit, our
Damn.
babes.
So many babes, too.
Fuck, there are a lot of
The
babes.
girls who are twice the height of Joe and Mac with their faux hawk hair and then Betty Rubble fur suit, fur bikini.
Merkin.
Merkins.
Body merkins.
Back in the distant past, way back, like when rock and roll was just rock and fast food. Wait a minute, I read that wrong. Okay. Back in the distant past, way back, like when rock and roll was just rock and fast food was dinner you couldn't catch, live cave dudes Joe and Mac. Whether it was dinosaur demolition derbies, which there are those cavemen in wooden flying apparatuses.
flying
Yeah,
helicopter
the
things.
fucking Da Vinci machines.
Yeah. Dropping bombs on you.
Tyrannosaurus Rex, WRECKS, or pterodactyl hang gliding, peeking the beak.
Yeah, I like to peek the beak every
Sounds,
now
I was gonna say, sounds like a euphemism if I've ever heard one.
Life for the boys was pretty cool. Cool that is until a bogus bunch of Neanderthal nerds crashed their village and
Fucking
scared off
nerds.
all their cave babes. Now all the cave babes are out there somewhere lost and lonely. It's up to Joe and Mac to get them back. And this is clearly like clip art.
Yeah,
sort of just
it's
throw.
real bad, super bad design. It's real super bad.
Put some flowers and mushrooms in there, man. That's how you know it's a cave, man. Put up the rock over there, and then yeah, man, there we go.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it. Cave babes. And that we haven't mentioned yet that at the end of each level, a cave babe comes out and kisses you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then leaves.
And then, yeah.
Just leaves you there to fucking go get the next one.
I don't blame him. There's something like interesting, kinda. The Japanese version shows when in the beginning of the game they go through that intro that you just read. There's text on screen.
It's very 90s intro. Huh?
Yeah, super fucking yeah. You see the Neanderthals go to
Neanderthal nerds.
Sorry, bless you.
Excuse me.
You see the Neanderthals go to the hut. The nerds go to the hut, and they enter the hut, and then you hear like a very effeminate cry, and then you can put it together that okay, they're stealing the women or chasing them away or whatever. And the Japanese version, you see the nerds dragging the women out by their hair, but that was not. They didn't let that. They didn't let that.
Yeah.
America didn't let that one fly.
Just like there's a cut Earthbound sprite in the Japanese version where the zombies are dragging Paula and Ness's bodies through Threed after
I remember you showing me that.
The woman in the hotel knocks them out.
Yeah. On one hand, I kind of get it. You know what I mean? But like on the other hand, it's like, well, then if it's not okay for us to see it, why is it okay for your kids to see it? You know what I mean? It's
Why
like,
is it okay for Bugs Bunny cartoons to do it?
You're
Because you
right.
see that shit all
what do you
the
think?
time.
We're babies or something?
Come on.
I mean, but on the other hand, I totally get it. I mean, like I'd rather if Henry was playing a game, I'd rather the rape be super not implied.
Whether it not be like kind of the cave bear where Daryl Hannah's brutally raped by another caveman in the middle of a field.
I knew that was going to come up.
Yeah.
Every time there's a caveman game that comes up. I still haven't seen that movie. Weird. It's like I don't want to see that.
I've only seen that part from Casey and I sitting in our office and him being like, you ever see that scene? Was there a rape scene in that movie? Let's put this YouTube that on a company computer. Here we go. Yep, there it is.
Yo, Peter Man. Cave Anna's getting raped on Channel 9.
She kind of looks like Pam.
Oh, God. No, I don't think I'm going to see that movie. That's based on a book, right? That's like a book
think so,
series.
yeah.
Yeah, where like cavemen have like psychic powers and shit.
I have no idea.
Something
Probably.
like
Do you have anything else to cover?
that. Maybe not.
Achievements?
I got
Any achievements?
I got a couple of achievements.
Because this game, it's short. It's
is short.
A short level and a big boss battle, and you do that like 8 times, and then you beat the devil and you beat the game.
Yeah, and you're not joking. I mean, like the devil's like Firebrand. It's just like straight up the moveset, the first form, straight up the moveset from Ghosts and Goblins, except it's like literally an eighth of the speed. So that was easy because it's like, oh, I'm used to this shit.
Yeah.
I'm used to this shit without fucking training wheels. And then the second form is a little different. They like change stuff up, which is a little more difficult, but still, it's fine. I did think it was cool that when you die in the game, that you're resurrected on the spot. You don't have to go.
You can actually
and restart.
You can move.
You can move to
While
where
you're
you
the
want to
angel.
respawn. Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know
It's
that.
not like very far. but,
Sure,
like
'cause-
if you died in a
Pit of
chasm,
lava or whatever, you can move
you
yourself
can move
out of
your
it.
angel over to the next column to
land there when you come
there
back
when
to
you come
life.
back,
That's
Yeah,
cool.
because as a kid, several times I would just respawn and fall down that same pit again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that because I mean it's different. I mean, a lot of games would send you back to the beginning of the level and make you start from the very beginning.
Yeah. The fact that you just get to keep going,
Yeah.
is nice.
The continues are pretty generous. Generous. Sorry. I haven't had enough beer to really blame it on that. I'm just stupid. You've got like 3 continues. And you do that by breaking open a yes egg or a no egg.
I'd have liked to have seen a passcode system.
It'd be nice.
And also, I would have liked to have seen the ability to increase your maximum heart capacity,
that would be cool too.
just to have a little more hearts.
Because the
They give you
bosses end up with
5.
a fuck ton of hit points.
Yeah, they do, and I think as you go through it, I'm not going to say it gets a lot harder, but it would be nice to be able to relax a little bit and be able to take that hit and not be like, shit, I'm going into a boss fight with
Give
half
you a
a
reason
fucking
to
heart.
Right.
give you a reason to search out the keys for the bonus levels.
Exactly. I think it would
Yeah.
incentivize you a little more, and I think it would For me, it was just a matter of rewind till I've got my hearts back and try again. But for the regular player on the Super NES or whatever, I just think it makes it tougher that it's so hard to maintain your hearts. Because when you get hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
I mean, and out of 5 hearts, if a caveman takes 1, there's a fifth of your health just gone, and you may or may not get some meat or whatever to bring it back, you know?
In the arcade version, your heart's depleted at a steady rate, Super Adventure Island style.
I do not like that.
That's some Noah's Arcade, Wayne's World bullshit.
Yeah, it goes back to Ian talking about it. They just want those quarters, and
There is no second level. You can't beat it. The kids don't know that. They just keep popping in quarters.
I have a couple achievements that came in from Twitch chat. There actually weren't a whole lot, but all of them were really, really fucking good. So it was hard to make a decision on my favorite 3, but here they are. The bees, not the bees. They're in my eyes.
Fuck that fucking bee level. God, that is some horse shit.
That was hard.
In order to unlock the bees, not the bees, they're in my eyes. You knock a beehive down on your head, and it's impossible not to do that. I mean, it's just like it's a vertical scroll. You got to go climb vertically, and it's like the fucking hives are just like you can't avoid them.
They're
just
bees.
spewing them out.
It's dogs with bees shooting out of their mouths. Literally, I mean,
the bee bit my bottom, Ian.
That was rough.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah. When he said rough, a bee came out of your mouth. Green Mile style.
Yes.
Tried to take it back. That came in from Just a Punk, a.k.a. Chris Murray. Next achievement, T-Rex Ronin Experimental Surgeon. In order to unlock T-Rex Ronin Experimental Surgeon, defeat the level you're in where you're inside the body of the T-Rex. And that came in from Cthusiast Jeff.
That's good.
I really like that one. And the last one I have is... It is the 90 millions BC, and there is time for clacks. In order to unlock it is the 90 millions BC, and there is time for clacks. Read through the 90s bodacious intro text about tubular babes and Neanderthal nerds while wearing radical sunglasses. And that came in from P. Willie Eaton. So thanks, Willie. I like that one a lot. Did you guys have any achievements?
I've got one. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
All right.
And to get Papa was a Rolling Stone, you just throw 2 of those round stones and run behind him. Just destroy everything in your path. Just keep spamming stones.
I've got fire bad.
Nice.
And you kill 30 cavemen with fire.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
All right. I like it. Guys, have any idea how much this game costs if you were to buy Joe and Mac for the Super Nintendo? How much it might be?
I'd wager this one was probably common.
Yeah.
I'm going to go $12.
$12 from Ian. What do you think, Tyler?
7.
You guys are right. This game is common, according to Flopsy. The price of Joe and Mac for the Super Nintendo, loose, on average, according to PriceCharting.com, at the time of this recording, is $21.32.
A little higher than I would have thought.
Yeah, I think it's because people like this one.
It's a good, it's a popular game.
I think it's the popularity. Yeah.
One that's worth playing, not just collecting.
Yeah. No, this is one that I own that is like, I'm glad I own this game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like guilty for owning this one. You know what I mean?
It's got extra value because it's a good game.
Because it happens to be good. Right. Yeah, exactly. Do you guys think that Joe and Mac belongs on TADPOG's top 100?
I'd say possibly.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's probably a candidate anyway.
Okay.
Before I went back and played it, I would have said yes.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think it's better than Joe and Mac 2.
I agree. And beforehand, I did think that it was.
I thought I would like it more than Joe and Mac 2.
Me too, because we talked about this with Pocky and Rocky 2. I like Pocky and Rocky better than Pocky and Rocky 2 because Pocky and Rocky 2 has like the shopping elements and inventory management and shit like that. I just want the arcade experience. And so I thought that was going to be the same with Joe and Mac, but it turns out that I actually think Joe and Mac 2 is the better game.
It's still a little. It's just Joe and Mac 1 is still a little too underdone.
Yeah, but I mean, totally. but I mean, to give it the benefit of, I mean, it came out.
It was
91
a very early
when
release.
the Super Nintendo came out the
For
same year.
1991, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. This came out like, let's see, I wanted to like see the timeline for like when this came out. It came out on the Super Nintendo first. It released, this is fucking wild. This game released on the Super Nintendo the same year it released in the arcade. Which is just
Whoa.
like, I don't know
Somebody
how common
down
that
at
was.
East
but-
played it, was like, this one, come on, call the boss. We're doing this one. Cavemen, there are going to be so many cavemen games on the Super Nintendo. We got to fucking do it.
Got to
Yeah.
get in on the ground floor with this caveman.
They
thing.
weren't wrong. Holy shit. So many fucking caveman games. And then in 92, it came out on Amiga and NES. 93, it came out on the Game Boy. I played that version. You can pass on that one. You can skip that one. It's okay. It's essentially the same game, kinda, but it is so slow. It
Oh,
is.
shit.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Bad. Avoid. And then in 94, that came out on the Genesis. And what I've read, I should have played it, but from what I've read, the Genesis version is more accurate to the arcade than the Super Nintendo version
Which
is. 'Cause
tends to be the case.
yeah, Genesis
Yeah.
kind of like leaned heavily on
Yeah.
that. Like we're the arcade system at home kind of deal because you don't know that Neo Geo exists.
Right.
So, and then also like I wanted to see where Joe and Mac kind of came out in the history of Data East. And it's pretty late. Burger Time was 82. Karate Champ and Kung Fu Master were 84. Karnov was 87. Bad Dudes is 88. Then you got Joe and Mac in 91. And then they did Joe and Mac Returns in 94, which did not get a home port. So I think it's available for Switch. If you want to buy it on
Okay.
Switch, I think it's like $8. And then they also did Windjammers in 1994. So I wanted to include Windjammers in there because it just had a recent re-release by .emo and all that. So, Tyler, if you were to give this game a beard, that sums up how you feel about it. What kind of beard would it be?
I would give this the beard of, who was it? Who was Kevin? Because it was the three monsters on SNL that the Fire Bad was Phil Hartman, John Lovitz, and Kevin Nealon. John Lovitz was Tonto.
Kevin Nealon with Frankenstein.
And who was, or
I think
Phil Hartman
Hartman
was
was
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Who was Kevin Nealon?
Oh, I cannot remember.
Well, his facial hair.
I don't know. I don't remember. I just remember Fire Bad. I don't really remember the skit. I couldn't have even told you John Lovitz and Kevin Nealon were in that.
'Cause he was
he the Wolfman or something?
Maybe he was.
Which reminds me, because I can tell Ian's looking this up. While he's looking it up, I watched last Thursday.
Tarzan.
Tarzan. Okay, yeah, he's the body hair of Tarzan.
Tarzan's Merkin. I watched I watched Freaked. Have you guys ever seen Freaked?
I don't think so.
It's Alex Winter, Keanu Reeves, and Randy Quaid. And
What?
you might not realize that.
Quite the trio.
Oh
there
my God.
Of,
God.
Tarzan Frankenstein.
Oh my God, this movie.
How old is this movie?
It's old. I mean, I don't know.
2 years old.
nine-
It's Randy Quaid at his current absolute
That shit
insanity.
craziest. I think it's 91. But so it's on YouTube HD. You can just search for it on YouTube. Freaked HD. It'll pop up. It is it's something. It's something else. Randy Quaid plays a freak show owner. So Alex Winter's character, like, he agrees to be a corporate shill, essentially, that sells toxic waste, essentially. And Randy Quaid's character is using this toxic waste to make freaks for his freak show. And Alex Winter shows up because some girl convinces him to. And he gets transformed into this, like, Two-Face looking, like, creature. Keanu Reeves is a dog man. And it's like, if you didn't know that it was Keanu Reeves, you have no fucking clue, because he's like head to toe. Like, you know, like in the 90s, I remember as a kid seeing, like, I guess the twins or whatever from like Mexico or something like that just had hair all over their bodies. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
And it's like they'd shave it and it would just grow back.
Yep.
Yeah.
he was done up like one of them essentially, but he was just like leaning into the dog, and it was like you couldn't recognize him by his appearance or his voice because he's like using a different voice.
Brooke Shields is in it.
Brooke Shields is in it.
William Sadler.
Yeah, Brooke. The brother from Blossom is Alex Winter's friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy Morgan Fairchild. Speaking of John,
yeah, as a
Lovitz.
cameo. Yeah.
Morgan Fairchild. Yeah, that's
So
the ticket.
that's the ticket. It was
More John Lovitz jam. All right. We haven't brought John Lovitz since Little Nicky. So.
yeah, that is true.
Mr. T is in it as the bearded
As
lady.
the bearded lady. Yeah.
So far, Keanu Reeves is not credited.
Yeah, he's in it.
I believe you. It's just weird. This was 1990.
I get it. Trust but
He was
verify. I get
he's
it.
so method, he didn't even get a credit for it. He was the freak show
1993
dog.
is when this came
It was
out.
93.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay.
Check it out. I heard about it on
There he is.
30/2010.
Ortiz the dog boy, uncredited. It's listed here, but it says
But
he's not credited,
uncredited.
which is funny because Alex Winter is credited.
Yeah, I think it's like his. I think Alex Winter may have co-wrote it or
Okay.
Keanu's so nice. He was just in it. He's like, I'm not even going to take any credit, man. This is
Yeah.
your thing.
I wanna
Trust me,
support
you're
you,
not going to
my
have a
brother."
career until we do the next Bill and Ted. So you do your thing.
I watched Freaked because I was like, well, I want to see Bill and Ted 3 Face the Music, but Nikki's asleep, so I guess I'll watch Freaked that I just heard about. And I popped some popcorn, and I was like, you know what, man? This is a movie that like. What sucks about it is like I feel like the jokes in it were ahead of its time because it wasn't a successful movie. But like the
Right.
jokes in it are pretty like they're pretty gonzo. Like there's some gonzo shit where it's like there's a scene of like them in a plane, and then the next scene is a plane landing and it blows up and it cuts to Alex Winter and his friend and like, oh God, I'm glad we weren't on that plane. So I mean, it's just shit like that, and it's stuff that like as if I would have watched this when it came out as a kid, like on fucking HBO at 2 a.m, I would have loved it.
Yep.
But as an adult, I'm like, well, fuck, man, people have taken this and done it in the time period that it should have been in
Yep.
after this movie, and it, you know. So anyway, I don't know. It's free. Go watch it. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
If you were to give this game a pair of glasses that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of glasses would it be?
It would be the 90s glasses in which people in the 90s looked through and considered it okay for John Lovitz to play a Native American as Tonto in Saturday Night Live.
Oh, those are Squirtle Squad glasses, right?
The radical neutrino shades, yeah. Hi-oh, daddy-o, we are frozen.
Would you guys like to hear what Flopsy has to say about this game? Do you want to guess at like what the star rating was for Joe and Mac and Flopsy?
It's 4 stars.
4 stars?
3.5.
3.5. It is 4. The end's on point.
Nice.
I know we weren't doing Flopsy when Joe and Mac 2 came out.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, they agree with us in that Joe and Mac 2 is a better game. They give that one 4.5 stars. So, and that is according to Flopsy, aka the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library, 1991 through 1998, by Pat Country,
All right.
courtesy of Monster Mold Mike. Oh, I want to give a shout out to Dig Duggy too, because Dig Duggy is going back and listening to the episodes where we started using the randomizer. And he's compiling a list of
He's
what.
doing the top 100.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He's compiling a list of like, whether or not we say a game belongs on the TADPOG top 100. And he
Told you.
swears it's not to test us later. Because I told him, I was like, we're not going to fucking remember any of that shit. And he's like, no, it's to help you guys when you eventually do put a list
Awesome.
together.
I
Thank
told you
Dig
somebody
Duggy.
was going to do it.
Love it.
I knew
Love
that
it.
would
Thank
happen.
you.
That's awesome.
So yeah, thank you, Dig Duggy. That's awesome.
Okay, more questions?
I have some more questions. Anything
Yeah.
else? Anything else about Joe and Mac?
I think I'm good.
Did a good job on that one.
All right. I'm looking at the time because I have a lot of post Joe and Mac content. I wasn't sure that Ross Rachel Green was going to send something in. He did.
I happen to know that he did because he messaged me specifically about this
Oh,
week's
are you?
quiz.
Do you have insight into this quiz?
I just know I know something about the Mary Fuck Kills.
Disqualified.
Not the answers, just what they're about. Just what they're about.
All right, we need to take a pee break.
Yes.
All right, we're taking a pee break. Be right back. We got a lot of post Joe and Mac. Yeah.
We do have a lot of post content.
Yeah, because I didn't know that a quiz was coming in, so I put together two.
Oh, sweet.
All right, we're back from peeing.
So much better.
Bladders are empty. We're working on refilling them.
Yep.
Yes, I have a quiz from Ross Rachel Green entitled "Looks Like I Made It." Ross begins. The title is a play on the song title "Looks Like We Made It" by Barry Manilow, which I assume you all know.
I know it.
But it's not country or gangsta rap, which I assume basically encapsulates all American music. Anyway, I survived a week at work, but not for the cosmic powers that be trying to test me. This month has been tighter than a duck's arse, a saying I am a fan of. And ducks' arses must be tight because you don't get waterlogged ducks.
Mm-hmm. Same for dolphins. Airheads. Watch it.
Airheads, think about it. I need to rewatch Airheads, dude. It's been
a minute since I've seen that.
It's probably been 20 years since I've seen, or longer, dude. It's been longer than that. I think I was like 16 years old.
I got a question for you.
Yeah,
Who's
Lenny
more-
is gone.
Good. Good. See, it has. You at least remember the important stuff.
And Brendan Fraser's coming back.
Yeah.
He's happy. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Ross continues, back to the point, my bank account is looking fairly unhealthy because I haven't yet been given a refund from the government for paying for my own airfare to get to an operation. To really twist the knife. Yes? Comments?
It's
I owe
best I-
$3,000 for a kidney stone Melissa had, Ross. Like,
I owe $1,500 for a colonoscopy my wife had that was covered by my insurance to the tune of $7,500.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Nikki had a pulmonary embolism 10 years ago. We're still paying for that.
Jesus.
Still paying
I
for
remember
it.
that.
10 years ago. Still paying for
Christ.
it. Ross continues to really twist the knife. My washing machine stopped draining and spinning, so fuck knows what's going wrong there.
Ross, I got to be honest, man. I love you. No one cares. We only want to know, when did you get milk?
Did you get
Your
milk?
big load that
Ross.
you were having to lay still for.
MilkRoss'sBigLoad.com. Dump it in ross'slap.com after you've milked him.net. Ross says
I'm going to call you on Discord right now, Ross. It's 2 a.m. Wake your wife up.
at least it only cost £400 for a replacement. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot,
It's
Ross.
like $600.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I don't have $600.
So if anyone needs a kidney, I
For a
can
washing machine?
for a replace. I assumed a replacement part.
You got a wife, Ross? Oh, I'm just joking. I'm
Oh.
just joking. Sam is cleaning under the stove. Blah, blah, blah.
Man, just cashing in on the Neanderthal.
Neanderthal, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Yeah, it's all thematic.
Part of the thing.
So if anyone needs a kidney, I can cut you a good deal. Anyway, something about SNES games. Are you guys ready? First question. This eye is a cartoony representation of a popular winter sport. I'm struggling not to burp so hard right now. My God.
Just let it fly,
Oh my
man.
God.
Really fighting it.
Oh, this eye is a cartoony representation
There you go.
of. I didn't do
started
that.
it.
Just
I
for the
started
record.
it. I did it.
For the
That was
record, that
me.
wasn't me.
I did it.
This eye is a cartoony representation of a popular winter sport. Features 3 players per team, with each having moves that are not allowed in the actual sport, like elbowing and tripping. It features players such as Happy Go Lucky, Pierre Bourdoir, and Ben Dover.
Is this that
Ice hockey?
gotta
that
be-
cartoony?
Yeah, what
hockey
was it
game
called?
we
It wasn't
played?
ice hockey, but it was. It starts with an I, so it has to be ice, right?
Yeah.
Or international. But if it's kind
Yeah,
of a comic,
it was comic-y,
comic-y,
yeah.
it wouldn't be that. Ice Fighters.
It was I know what game we know exactly.
I know what it
game
was.
Is,
I
but
just
all
can't-
those hockey game titles all just fucking smushed together.
Damn it. It's not ice hockey because that's the NES game, ice hockey,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ice Pirates.
Ice Goofs.
Ice Goofs. Locking it in. It is. Come on, man. You said it was an eye. Hit the ice.
He said it was an eye.
He said this eye is a cartoony representation.
So now we
get the
can
point for
put
that.
stuff in front of it. So you hit the ice.
I
So now
guess.
as long as the I is somewhere within the first letter of the title.
If we would have been given an H, do you think we would have gotten it?
No.
No. I agree with
No,
that.
but it's fun to bitch.
But yeah, it totally is. Next question. This Super V, originally released on the PC Engine CD, was changed dramatically for the SNES. It featured only one playable character, no magic system, and no animated sequences.
Super V.
Super V. This Super V, which is in all caps, so that makes a difference, originally released on the PC Engine CD.
Super.
God, I don't know.
I have no idea. None. Sounds like it might be an RPG. Maybe if it's got a magic system. Animated sequences.
Super Valiant Fighters.
Sounds good to
good.
me.
Yep.
Locking it in. Super Valiant Fighters. It is Super Valis 4.
Damn, I thought you were going to say Valiant.
I'm sorry.
Like, if we got Valiant, we get it.
Super Valis 4.
Have you got the AL? Man, pretty good. 1/10 credit.
Next question. This W is a movie tie-in that is nothing like the movie and simply features bad sprite depictions and sound clips and begins with the player getting trapped in the video game Xantar.
Oh, fuck.
Ian's got this. He's going to get there.
Read it again.
This W is a movie tie-in that is nothing like the movie, simply features bad sprite depictions and sound clips, and begins with the player getting trapped in the video game Xantar.
Wizard.
Wicked Tron,
Wickedtron.
a Wizard of Oz.
Xantar. Nothing like the movie.
Oh, man, this is killing me. 'cause
Water World.
well, I thought Waterworld at first until you said Xantar.
There's literally only one other Super Nintendo that starts with W, I think. We've hit all the ones. There's got to be not that many, right?
Oh, man.
Wizardry, Wizard World.
I
don't
mean, it's
know
got to
it.
be
I don't know.
Wizard
I
or
don't know, man.
Wizorb. Is that a
Wizorb.
But based on a movie.
It's
It's
based on a movie. Willow.
Willow?
I don't know, man.
Willow. No,
Is they
Willow.
trapped in a video game?
Willow's just an NES game.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Waterworld.
fucking
Fucking
Waterworld.
Waterworld's the only
Yeah.
movie I know that starts with a W.
Not gonna be right, but I and when you say it, I'm afraid I'm gonna be like, fuck, that's where I was headed.
Water Boy. Whoa, Wind in the Willows. Whoa.
Wishmaster.
The Wendigo.
Rescue was down under.
Westworld.
West Wing. A walking talking simulator.
Aaron Sorkin's The West Wing.
It's man. You get to choose the dialogue.
Oh, you
Papers, Please style.
But it's really fast. Like you
Yeah,
have to.
oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's like a quick time event.
Yeah,
like every
absolutely.
time.
Oh, you dropped your stack of papers. You lose hearts.
Press B to make what's his name not take a drink.
God, I feel like I should know this, but I just don't. I can't.
What? Okay. Is there a video? Is there a movie that involves a video
Well,
game that
there
starts with
was.
W?
I was going
Besides
towards
Wizard.
like the Last Starfighter type of thing, where he's playing the video game and then he gets recruited,
Uh-huh.
kind of like Armada. But that's not a W, and the Xantar got me. Just that pulled something out of my head, and
Is there
I
a war?
Ooh,
What's the War Games?
there's war games.
can't. Boy, that would be a stretch.
I mean, I could understand starting off in a video game if it's a War Games movie tie-in.
Man,
Wing Commander.
Well, I thought Wing Commander, and I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense either.
I know.
No, I don't know. Waterworld.
Waterworld. I don't know.
We know
don't
Waterworld has an SNES
Waterworld.
release.
Locking it in. It is. Oh my fucking god.
I don't know that I even wanna know.
WWFs.
I'm going to give you a hint.
Mm-hmm.
It was mentioned earlier by you, Tyler. Noah's Arcade.
Wayne's World?
Wayne's World.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Excuse me. Do you have any mustard? Wayne's World's going to be a fun one for us to do.
Yes.
Next question. This W sees you traversing the globe trying to capture members of the Vile organization. VILE.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
No, I'm locking it in. Nice work, Gumshoes. It is. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh, Warren.
Man, I'll never one of the last things that'll flash in my mind before I die is like the fucking potted plant being pushed off the windowsill, and where in America is Carmen Sandiego? That one, for whatever reason, like really like struck a chord with me as a kid, because I remember being like, that really fucking hurt somebody.
Yeah.
That fucking thing landed on that, it really fucking hurt. Next question. This game plot revolves around biotechnology researcher Cal Morrow and his son Saul. When the former is kidnapped by the evil Chimera organization, Saul uses one of his father's inventions to turn himself into a wolf-human hybrid that may be capable of defeating Chimera.
Sounds a lot like Claymates to me,
It does sound a little like Claymates, like
plot-wise.
Claymates meets Altered Beast.
I was about to say Altered Beast. Waltered Beast.
Waltered Beast. A Walter Matthau simulator. I'm Kyle Morrow. That's what he
Chapter
sounds
1,
like.
The Odd Couple.
Jack Lemmon is the other of the bad guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, God. Is there a Two Angry Men? Is there a SNES game for that? Or like
Which?
a fucking FMV?
Angrier old men.
Angry.
Angriest old men. It's instead of making the third one, they turned it into
They couldn't get the budget for a third movie, so they made an SNES CD game. That never saw the light. This game do we have a letter? This game's plot revolves around No, we don't have a letter. This game's plot revolves around biotechnology researcher Cal Morrow and his son Saul.
Tomorrow.
I do like that. I have nothing better than that.
Wolfman Tomorrow.
Versus Chimera. Dude, I have no idea, dude. What's a game where they turn themselves into a wolf human hybrid? The Isle of Dr. Moreau. I almost said Monroe, but I was like, nope, that's too much Simpsons. Like, you've watched too much Simpsons and not read enough high school literature.
Shit, I have no, especially with a letter. Like, I don't even know where to.
I don't know, man.
The deadliest game. I don't.
Sure.
It is Wolf Child. Another W game.
All right.
Wolf Child. You know how earlier I was like, there's only 3? There's been like 3 after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. This game is the first in the series to be released in Europe, keeping the original title instead of being called Dyna Blaster or Eric and the Floaters.
Dino City.
What
What does it start with?
I think we don't have it, but I think it's Super Bomberman.
Oh, okay.
Because Eric and the Floaters, I think that was like I think that was a Bomberman thing.
Okay.
And Dyna Blaster,
Okay.
Dynamite Blaster. I think this is Super Bomberman.
Yeah, sounds good.
Locking it in. It is Super Bomberman.
Nice.
Good job.
Thank you. Next question. This sports game is a sequel to a NES title. Mario from the Super Mario Brothers series of video games makes a cameo in this video game as the heads on the coin for the coin toss. But man, this is rough.
Coin toss.
Coin toss. This is hard to read. Here, Ian, please read question.
This sports game is a sequel to an NES title. Mario from the Super Mario Brothers series of games. Because,
Oh, do you mean Mario?
Yeah, that Mario.
Or Luigi Mario.
Right.
He makes a cameo in this video game as the heads on the coin for the coin toss at the start of each game. The raccoon tail power-up from Super Mario Bros. 3 is the tails side of the coin.
Thank you. Well done. I appreciate you helping me out there. I was having a real hard time parsing. It's a sports game. It's gonna
It's got to be football of some kind, right? Because I don't know what other sports use a coin toss.
Okay.
But what's a Nintendo football game?
Because it has to be Nintendo. Because I don't think they'd let someone else use Mario.
Mm-mm.
I don't know that there was one though, unless it was some kind of
Super football. I don't know that that's a thing.
And they said it was a
That's
sequel.
fine.
They said it was a sequel to an NES.
To an
game.
NES title. That's true.
Super football works for me.
I mean, I don't know what else. I don't know what other.
Or if it's a
sports
W,
use a coin
Wario's
toss.
football.
Man, I'd play the fuck out of Wario. I would know if Wario's football existed because that sounds great.
Just burp, eat garlic, and you just fart across the through the end zone.
It's weird. I've really grown to Wario has really grown on me over the years because it's like I remember like around the time Smash Brothers came out on like the 3DS and the Wii U, I was like, I don't know about Wario, but now it's just kind of like, yeah, okay, it's just Wario.
No, it's fun.
He's a thing.
He's not just the weird thing at the top of 6 golden coins. Now he's
Right.
actually a character.
Right. Which I do like him in 6 golden coins quite a bit because he is very weird.
Very, very weird.
The super tiny fucking
And the giant head. Like
right.
Super football, man. I'm good. I'm down.
I don't know. That's not it, right?
That sounds
But
like
I
a
mean,
launch title sort of thing anyway, to have the Mario tie-in. And
I don't even know that that's a game though.
I remember on my Super Nintendo box there being like a football game.
Yeah, but what was it called? Because I know what you're talking about. I've seen that.
I mean,
on
if
the
there's a
box,
Super
too.
Tennis, there might be a Super
There
Football.
might- the chances are. What do we think?
I think it's probably not right. but
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to come up with the title.
Super gridiron.
I don't even know that that it's even football, but that's just what the only sport that comes to mind where a coin toss is involved.
You don't do it in baseball, right?
You don't do it for anything else, as far as I know. I don't think there is a coin toss because the coin toss decides who receives
Right.
or who,
Yeah,
and
because
what side
any
of
other
the-
game, there's a tip-off or
basketball.
hockey,
A tickle fight,
tickle fight for Limp Bizkit.
badminton.
Because basically, there's no other sport where there's an advantage to deciding something at
Sides.
the beginning.
Yeah.
You choose to either receive or
Super Rugby, is that a thing?
defend. So I don't know. I don't know. It's got to be. I don't
Super
know.
hand egg.
Super.
How do they determine who bats and fields first in baseball?
I have no idea.
Home team. Always.
Oh, is that
goes-
right?
Home team always bats first, or it's visitors. It's which I don't know or can't. I always get that backwards,
one of
but
those.
it's one of the
Okay.
other.
But it's based on
It's based on home
Where
or-
they're playing.
Yeah, where you're playing.
okay. Okay.
So it's football. I don't know what it would be called though.
Super football. Locking it in.
Foot Tendo.
It is super play action football.
Okay.
Half credit. Half credit.
Super play action football. Next question. We never would have gotten there.
Nope.
Next question. This game had a sequel/remake available for the Nintendo 64 called Charlie's Blast Territory.
Charlie's Angels.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said Charlie. It's just Charlie Blasts Territory, if that makes a difference. Charlie Blasts Territory.
The Charlie Blasts Territory was an N64 sequel.
That was the
to
N64
the game we're trying
sequel
to
slash
guess.
remake to the game we're trying to guess.
Okay.
Was there a game called like Blasto or something for the SNES? It's like red and
Probably.
yellow.
Dynamite Heady? Was that a
that
Super
a thing?
Nintendo game or was that a Genesis
That sounds good.
only thing? That's the only thing I can think of, but I'm not sure that was a Super Nintendo game.
Super Bomberman 2.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna have a guess on this one.
Bomboozle.
Oh,
All right, yeah.
okay.
Kablooey. Charlie's Kablooey.
Charlie, brought to you by Charlie, featuring Charlie. What do you want to do? I have no idea.
I have no idea what it could be. Battleship. Isn't there a Battleship? We did a Battleship game. So Battleship.
Super Battleship.
It's the sequel to Battleship.
Locking it in. It is. Bomboozle / Kablooey.
Hey, you
For
said
real?
Yeah, for real.
Half credit. You said it.
it. Damn.
Next question. Man, they made a fucking N64 version?
Oof, I bet it's so good.
Oof, indeed.
Yeah.
Oof, indeed, sir. Wow. Yikes. Why? Man, take my favorite system and my favorite game, put them together. Next question. In this queue, in addition to enemies from the first game, it introduces Frog with 2 G's, Top Hat, and Derby. Finally, it's a queue. We got a fucking hint. It's a queue.
Qbert.
Extreme.
But it's objects this time. Qbert, but it's shit around your house.
Frog. It introduces Frog, Top Hat, and Derby. So it's a sequel, at least. In addition to enemies from the first game, it introduces Frog, Top Hat, and Derby. Was there a Qbert game on the Super Nintendo?
I don't think so, but they're enemies. These are enemies.
All right, so Top Hat and Derby, they're both hats.
Yeah,
So
presumably. But Frog, on the other hand, with 2 G's. What?
Mario's pre-Odyssey.
It starts with Q. Name a game that starts with Q, but that's not Qbert. Quest.
Hat Quest. Quest for hats.
Questie's Quest.
Quackmania.
Quest.
Quest.
Just fucking Quest.
Quest. I'm good with that because I'll never get there unless you want to lean into that Qbert. I mean, that might be something. I don't know.
Qbert's Revenge.
But he hates hats.
Qbert's Haberdashery and Frog Store.
I say it's got to be like Quest.
Unless he's doing the thing that he did earlier where it's
where
the
Quest
second
is-
letter in the fucking title.
Or it's like something Quest.
Right.
Or
Frogger's Quest.
Frogger's Quest. Are you excited for the new Frogger game show? There's a new Frogger game show that's coming out. I think is hosted by Damon Wayans.
Okay.
damn.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I've not heard of this one.
It's supposed to be like Wipeout, which I think is like that's like a British show, right?
Okay.
Like an obstacle course kind of deal.
Yeah. Okay. Quimby's Quest.
I like that.
Quimby's Quest, locking it in. It is.
It's a
You ready?
Qbert. Tell me it's Qbert.
Are you ready?
Let's do it. Yeah, tell me.
Qbert 3! Qbert 3! The third Qbert game. The third one.
Third credit.
Hey, man, remember Qbert 2? No. How about Qbert 3? Fucking Qbert 3. You gotta be shitting me. I'm looking this
You
one up
thought
right
the shit
now.
I was saying was silly. No, it was almost on point.
Fuck.
I'm looking this up right the fuck now. If this is not in Flopsy, this is a troll. This has
He's
to
already
be.
given us one game that wasn't in Flopsy.
Q. Come on. Lots of
It doesn't
R's.
count if it's something you drew in grade school, Ross. Because if there was another Qbert, like Nikki would have known about it. She does love Qbert, right? I thought I remembered that about her.
Qbert 3. Fuck if I know. I don't know. Qbert 3. Yeah, it's a real game.
Shit.
Yeah, it's a real game that exists. It actually looks like Qbert. Looks like Qbert. I liked Qbert a lot when I was a kid. They had
too.
the Hardee's. I don't know if you remember, but Hardee's had Qbert figurines
Oh,
in
wow.
the 80s.
Yes.
You remember Pixels? Yeah.
I
Qbert.
do. Starring Adam Sandler and Pac-Man. Yeah.
Feet Qbert.
Oh, God. Next question. This light gun game featured a bleak modern setting filled with cyborgs and various bosses, including a large flying warship and a tank.
Is that the Aerosmith game?
Maybe
Revolution
X, but that wasn't a light gun game on the SNES.
Oh, okay.
It was a light gun game in the arcade. We don't have a fucking letter to work with again.
There's no, I mean, light gun would be in Super Scope.
Yeah.
Right. Bazooka Blitzkrieg is the only one I can think of.
Bazooka Blitzkrieg, that's what I was thinking
sounds
too.
good.
Yep.
Because that did have a fucking flying warship, didn't it?
I'm sure.
We
I
go.
say Bazooka Blitzkrieg.
All right,
yeah.
let's lock that in. That is, Bazooka Blitzkrieg.
Nice.
Next question. Fuck, marry, kill.
Mm.
Jill Valentine, Claire Redfield, Ada Wong.
I'm gonna kill Ada Wong. Can't trust her. You don't know what she's up to. She's always gonna betray you.
That's fair.
Jill's got that DNA getting fucked with. So you can fuck her long enough before Tyrant catches up, before Nemesis catches up. So you marry Claire Redfield
Until she eventually becomes a Jill sandwich. It's going to happen.
Barry
Burton.
God, that is the best joke on TADPOG.
Who are these people?
From the Resident Evil series.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I'm with Tyler. I think yours is solid. I'm willing to go with that for sure. I can't
Because you
marry.
want to fuck Ada Wong, but I mean,
I know.
you'll probably die. It's like the alien from Mass Effect who's like, no, you can fuck. So you're probably the only one that can, and then you die. So
Yeah, and I don't want to fuck a sandwich. I'll eat a sandwich. Maybe I'll change my.
so you just go down on Jill Valentine.
Right. Yeah. I'm a member of Stars. Next question. Fuck, marry, kill. He-Man, Thundercats, Transformers.
That's a tough one.
Oh boy. Yeah, I could
That's
tell
a
that
tough
was rough
question.
on you.
I mean, do you want to fuck a truck though? I mean,
Are you a dragon?
So much bad Transformers has come out.
Okay.
I mean, I was always a huge fan of the show and the comic, just like I was talking about G.I. Joe last week.
Yeah.
Transformers came on like after G.I. Joe. So, I mean, I watched it every day.
Fucking robots in disguise.
Robots in disguise. And I really, really loved it. But I really, really love all three of these things.
Yeah. As a kid, I swear I thought they were saying robots in the skies.
well,
I thought that too for a while.
Robots in the skies.
Yeah,
that's why I thought in Turtles it was the evil Shredder.
Does taxes or something?
Yeah. Instead of tax, the evil Shredder of tax.
tax.
Like he was a tax collector. That's why you didn't like him.
Meanwhile, biggest tax evader in the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles history.
Technodrome, no income tax.
Krang paid the U.S. government more than Shredder.
So
Build a Technodrome.
What did Krang's work visa look like?
People are saying. Open a portal to Dimension X. Trust me, it's. We're keeping the neutrinos out.
Oh, God.
People are talking about the weather machine.
Please say total chaos. Please say total chaos.
The most total chaos you've ever seen. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, the chaos will be total. You're so much chaos, you're going to be tired of it.
Oh, fuck. Back of my head hurts now. Oh, from smiling and laughing.
Oh, anyway, okay, so
Robots in disguise.
I'm just based on the fact that so much bad Transformers happened, the Michael Bay movies and stuff. Those were just all so awful. I'm gonna kill Transformers.
Okay. Oof.
It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. I don't want to, but I'm gonna kill Transformers. I'm gonna fuck Thundercats, and I'm gonna marry He-Man.
Okay, why? What's the reasoning there?
Well, I just
Lionel fucks. That's his name, right?
Chitara fucks.
Chitara
fucks.
fucks. Okay.
Panthro
Panthro
fucks.
You guys know way more
Panthro.
about Thundercats than I do.
Wily Kit and Wily Cat, they take the pictures.
Who are they?
The kids.
Oh, gross.
That is really gross. And they had what was their pet? They had a pet. They were cats that were like cat people, but they had a pet.
They kept cats as pets?
He looked like,
What are they, plantation owners? What the fuck?
I guess. Anyway, that was a fun series. It didn't I enjoyed it a great deal.
Okay.
Also loved those comics. I could go back to that probably. And there wasn't garbage that came out. Now there is more coming. I think they're getting ready to do another Thundercats show, kind of like they did with He-Man.
Okay. All right.
But I'd fuck and then Thundercats, and then I would marry He-Man because
Okay.
I just think,
I know you love
I just think
He-Man.
Masters of the Universe is probably the best. I still feel the same way about it now as I did when I was a kid, especially with the new stuff. So.
Okay. Tyler, what do you think?
Killing Transformers.
Okay. Because of Michael Bay?
Because I'm more familiar with Thundercats, I'll marry Thundercats and fuck He-Man.
All right. And I've got the troll answer. I'm going to kill all of them because I really don't give a shit about any of these. All right. Next question. Geordie LaForge, Trip Tucker,
Okay.
Miles O'Brien. I know two of these characters.
I know one of those characters. I can name that in one character.
I do not know who Trip Tucker is.
He was in Enterprise.
What was his role? If it's not fucking...
He was the chief engineer.
Okay.
So Geordie LaForge was the chief engineer of the Enterprise D in
Gotcha.
Next Gen.
Right. Okay.
Trip was the chief engineer of the NX-01 in Enterprise.
Okay.
And Miles O'Brien, although he served as transporter chief on Enterprise D in Next Generation,
Enterprise D's nuts.
he was the he was
Got
the
him.
chief engineer of Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
Okay.
Which one of these would you fuck in their boy holes?
Let me do kill.
Okay. Which one of these would you kill? Did Trip
How
Tucker...
high of a troll toll would you pay in one of those boy holes?
the Trip's boy hole. Did Trip actually do any of the beaming down or beaming up?
Well, they didn't do a lot. They didn't really have transporters throughout most of Enterprise.
What a waste of a name then. His name is Trip.
Yeah.
Save it for somebody who beams people. Trip.
Call him stay-at-home guy.
Stay at home, Tucker.
Ship warden.
I would.
Stan afraid to beam.
Of the problem, afraid to beams.
Yeah, their family crest.
Connor, I'm afraid to beam up.
Sounds like a Highlander thing.
That's what I was
It
going
does.
for.
It really does. Yeah.
This is going to be This is another tough question for me.
Okay.
But
Because you don't want to
And I'm
kill
gonna
or
kinda-
fuck or marry any of them,
no,
presumably.
not really. No, I would have to say, and this will probably be kind of an unpopular answer.
Perfect. Not as unpopular as what I just said about
He's
He-Man,
gonna- he's gonna
Thundercats,
kill
and
Geordie.
Transformers.
He's going to kill Geordie.
Yes.
Oh.
Even I know that's unpopular.
Oh.
I love the man.
He's blind, Ian.
I love LeVar. I love Geordie, but Geordie is just this insecure. Just he doesn't even. I don't know. He's brilliant and he's very important to the crew, but he's kind of an irritating.
He's not fuckable is what you're
Not
saying.
fuckable and definitely not marryable.
Okay.
Right. So in this scenario, Geordie's gone. Trip is the one I would fuck because he's kind of a good old boy. He's
Okay.
fun. He's always, wanting to be adventurous and get involved in away missions, but rarely gets to,
I see.
kind of thing. He's funny. Also, there's some pretty noble sacrificing going on in his storyline. So yeah, but I think at the end of the day, he would.
You described him like he was Billy Bob from Varsity Blues.
Could be. He could be. I mean, he's even got the accent.
I don't want your life.
I want to say he's from like Texas or Alabama, or so he's got a Southern accent.
Okay.
I mean, he's a good old boy. Let to hang out, do that, fuck.
All right.
And then I'm marrying Miles
Then go
O'Brien.
mudding. You're gonna marry Miles?
I'm marrying Miles O'Brien because he deserved better than that fucking bitch of a wife he had.
Whoa! Shots
on
fired.
Star Trek.
Who'd he marry?
Keiko. There's a character named Keiko. She turned out okay eventually, but for the for the better part of the time she was on. See, they got married when they were on the Enterprise.
Okay.
In Next Gen.
Okay.
And she was just kind of a pain in the ass.
She would suck your dick for cake, so they just started calling her Keiko.
It's just a line of people holding cakes.
Oh, we're seeing the Keiko. I'm going to marry the Keiko.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save her.
But she save her. Then they got transferred to Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
And she improved a little, but he still deserved better.
Okay.
I always thought that dude deserved a lot better, so that's who I would marry.
All right.
Because he's a good guy. He's a smart motherfucker. I really like Miles O'Brien. And in that show, Lower Decks, the animated show,
yeah.
in the first season, they make his character out to be the most important character in all of Star Trek. They have statues and shit erected to him. Definitely gonna marry Miles. And it's nothing personal about Geordi, but he's got to go in this scenario.
Okay. That seemed very well thought out.
First, he doesn't become the Jeopardy host, and now you kill Geordi LaForge.
I'm mad about that too. Yeah,
He should have been. He should have been.
Yeah,
That was perfect.
For sure.
Oh no, but young cookie cutter black guy. Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank
just
you.
what
Thank
we
you,
need.
Jeopardy.
More of that. They got Mayim Bialik to be the primetime host. They're gonna have a primetime Jeopardy, and she's gonna host it. But this regular ass white dude is hosting daytime Jeopardy. So yeah, I wanted that to be LeVar, most people did.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Apparently, he did a great job when he did actually do some episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ross, for the quiz.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it very much. I have my own quiz that I prepared.
Oh yes.
I had a little extra time.
Okay.
And thought that I would put together a caveman quiz.
I love it.
10 questions.
Clan of the Cave Bear.
Fuck. All right. 9 questions. First question is, this Hudson Soft overhead shooter for the NES was backed by a marketing campaign in Japan revolving around Korean-Japanese wrestler Riki Choshu.
Korean overhead shooter.
It's a Hudson Soft overhead shooter
Okay.
backed by Korean-Japanese wrestler Riki Choshu.
I have no clue.
I don't know.
It is Adventures of Dino Riki.
Okay. I've never heard of that. It's an NES game?
Yeah, it's an overhead shooter that, instead of a spaceship or a plane, you are a caveman and you are running. So yeah.
Okay.
Next question.
What was that one overhead game that you had the little paddle that you turned to shoot, and you were two dudes walking through it was like an army type thing.
And you had dials that you would turn?
It was dials and buttons to shoot, and you could shoot in all directions.
Is it overhead?
It's overhead.
Man, I do not know the answer to that.
I can't remember the name of it. That was a fun game.
It was army themed?
I think it was army themed, yeah. I'll have to look it up.
All right. Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
Next question. Set in a fictionalized prehistoric era, this is a CG animated family film from DreamWorks Animation about an overprotective caveman father named Grug, whose one rule among his family is to never leave their cave.
The Croods.
It is the Croods.
Nice.
Well done. Next question. This supervillain is said to be a Cro-Magnon warrior who became immortal after encountering a strange meteorite. For over 50,000 years, he plagues the Earth as a villain and occasional conqueror. In 2009, he was ranked as IGN's 36th greatest comic book villain of all time.
Kang.
It's not Kang. Good guess. I'll ease your mind, Ian. It's not Marvel.
Well, I'm trying to think of the name of the big bad in Justice League.
Solomon Grundy.
No.
He wants pants too.
It's a movement. Give Grundy pants.
Steppenwolf?
It's not Steppenwolf.
I don't know then.
It is Vandal Savage.
Oh, don't know that one.
I didn't either. I was like, well, Ian might know this one, so I'm going to include this one. That's why I was surprised. It's like 36th greatest comic book villain of all time, and I
Never
haven't
heard of
even
him.
heard of
Never
him.
Is it DC?
Greatest guy in the world?
Never heard of him.
Yeah, it is. It's DC. You were on the right track. Next question. A 1992 comedy starring Sean Astin, Pauly Shore, and Brendan Fraser, and distributed by Hollywood Pictures. Fraser, sorry.
Encino Man.
It is, in fact, Encino Man. Bonus points if you remember his name, his character's name. Just bonus points. It's just for fun. Unlike this, which is totally real and totally matters. If you don't pass this, you don't get into heaven.
Wheezin' Juice.
Link.
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 Oh, the missing link.
Missing
I
link.
get it.
Yeah. Next question. The series, like the ad campaign it was based on, centers on 3 cavemen who live in a modern apartment. It was canceled after only 6 episodes.
Geico Caveman.
Geico Caveman.
It is. What's the name of the show?
Yeah.
Caving it up with the Geico Caveman.
It's pretty good. Cave it out.
Oh, man.
Now historic.
I see it. I can see the damn thing, but I cannot remember what the show was actually, what it was called. Fuck.
Would you like a hint?
Sure.
Don't overthink it.
Cavemen.
It is Cavemen. Well done.
Okay.
Next question.
Good hint.
Next question. Well, I know how it goes. Next question. This caveman was the mascot of NEC's TurboGrafx 16, produced by Red Entertainment, developed by Atlas, and published by Hudson.
I think that's Bonk.
It is Bonk. Well done. I had no idea that it was developed by Atlas.
I didn't either.
Next question. She is the fiercely courageous, decisively confident, and morally pure chief of the Ioka tribe in prehistory.
Ayla.
It is Ayla. Well done. Her people are in constant war against an evolved, intelligent race of reptiles.
The Reptites.
The Reptites, indeed. Well done. Next question. Key-Rock was a recurring character created on television from 1991 through 1996. He was a caveman with the beetle brows of a Neanderthal who had fallen into a glacial crevasse, or big giant hole in ice, during the Ice Age, thus preserving his body well enough for scientists to thaw him out in 1988. He subsequently studied law at the Oklahoma City University School of Law.
Prehistoric caveman lawyer.
Close.
Frozen caveman lawyer.
Closer. Super duper.
Unfrozen caveman lawyer.
Yes, unfrozen caveman lawyer. Well done. Next question.
God, I love that skit.
Yeah. Ringo Starr played this character in the 1981 film Caveman. Not as big or fierce as the other cavemen, he becomes an outcast from the tribe and joins with other exiled cavemen to form a new tribe of misfits. However, the misfits use their brains to create fire and defeat dinosaurs, proving that brains trump brawn in the grand scheme of history.
Even
All I
talked about this
remember
before.
from that movie is where he steps in shit and says caca. I don't know. I don't remember his name though.
Any guesses? It's one of those where it's like if you don't know it, I feel like it's gonna be hard to guess.
Say it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is frog pussy. Got it. Okay. It is Atuk.
Atuk.
Okay. Last question. This was created in 1958 by Johnny Hart and focuses on a small band of cavemen. There is also a cast of talking animals that includes John the tortoise, Dookie Bird, and a family of ants, an anteater, dinosaurs, clams, snakes, and an apteryx. After Hart became a born-again Christian in 1977, his religious and political beliefs began creeping in until it was almost entirely Christian-themed.
So it lasted for like 20 plus years?
I believe that it is still going on after his death.
And what is it? Like, it's a TV show?
I cannot say it or it will give it away.
Could you read it again?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was created in 1958 by Johnny Hart and focuses on a small band of cavemen. There's also a cast of talking animals that includes John the Tortoise, Dookie Bird, a family of ants, an anteater, dinosaurs, clams, snakes, and an apteryx. After Hart became a born-again Christian in 1977, his religious and political beliefs began creeping in until it was almost entirely Christian-themed.
Sounds like something I've heard of before, but I can't.
Both of you have absolutely heard of this.
Focuses on a small group of cavemen.
Yes.
Did the Flintstones go pervasively Christian?
After smoking cigarettes, they saw the folly of their ways. Winston's.
Cactus juice?
I'll give you the hint, but it will give you the answer.
Okay, because I can't come up with anything.
It is a comic strip.
Oh,
BC?
BC.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got, I'm glad you got the hint because I wouldn't have got
I
that.
didn't think about comic strips.
I
yeah.
forgot how you're right. It did get weirdly, yeah.
So, like to the point where I was reading that certain newspapers are like, "We're not publishing this."
Are you missing
weird.
BC? Well, trust us.
The answer
you won't
is
miss it.
no.
It's the,
Yeah, right.
It's the funny pages,
I,
not the contemplative Christian page.
doing the research for this, check this out. The main character. Do you know the main character of the strip's name? I didn't.
I used to.
Don't overthink it.
Caveman.
No,
Ooga.
it's BC.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that there's a game out there called BC's Quest for Tires, released by Sierra in 1983?
Oh my God.
Did you know that the sequel entitled Grog's Revenge was released a year later in 1984?
Because Grog's the little furry, yeah.
2 BC video games exist in the world.
Wow.
Throw it on the pile.
Yeah, we got to do those.
Closer to the top.
We got to do those, man. Good Lord. I don't know.
Wow.
I meant to look up gameplay, but then I ran out of free time. But yeah, I don't. It's their
Is there
Sierra
a Longhorns
games.
game somewhere?
Dude, a Longhorns game. What if it's like a Smash Brothers style? Like funny
I
pages
would
brawler.
fucking love, dude. Oh man.
God, man.
Oh fuck yes.
Fucking Mary Worth up in here.
Oh shit, Marmaduke. He's shitty in the comics, but fuck, man, he's
He's too OP. He's banned.
powerhouse.
OP, yeah.
He can bite under the edge and you can't get him.
Yeah. Man, yeah. Jeffy's like the fucking Kirby. Like you can knock him off the stage real easy, but he just fucking dotted lines down the bottom and around.
His final smash as he goes around, and if he hits you, you're gone off the screen.
Fucking Beetle Bailey up in there.
Fucking yes.
Being Link.
Did you know that I didn't know that
Dagwood makes a giant ass sandwich.
Blondie is Peach.
yeah. Kathy says act.
It's like the Star Fox's tank that just fills the screen and pushes everybody off.
Dilbert gets weird sexually and oppresses people. Ziggy, who really is Gluttony from Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes,
I mean,
he
holy
is.
shit,
Yeah.
dude. Holy shit. The whole
It's like
time
you
we're
put
watching it.
Ziggy in like an earthworm gem body.
Yeah. Like a suit fell from space and Ziggy climbed in it.
And it's just really hungry.
Dude, I don't want to ruin the anime for Nikki, but there have been so many fucking times that I've almost leaned over and been like, looks like Ziggy, doesn't it?
I want it to be a thing you say a lot.
I didn't take Ziggy out for air. Next question. Marry, fuck, kill. Joe and Mac edition. Joe Cool, Joey Tribbiani, Joe Dirt.
I'm going to kill Joe Dirt.
Okay. I included Joe Dirt specifically because Ian's here.
I'm going to. I'm gonna. Well, Joe Camel's probably got a lot of money.
Joe Cool.
Joe Cool. Joe.
Snoopy's alter ego.
Oh. Okay, I'll fuck him then.
Fuck that dog pussy.
I'm gonna fuck that dog pussy. Then I'll marry Joey Tribbiani.
All right. Okay. Why marry Joey?
Well, if we're following the Joey timeline,
All right,
we're
please.
counting his spin-off series, Joey, at the end of the second season,
Which of course we have to.
he
It's canon.
becomes a huge famous movie star.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna marry.
You don't think you're not worried he cheat on you?
Oh, probably, but I'll get a.
You're in it for the money, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ian, fuck, marry, kill. Joe Cool, Joey Tribbiani, Joe Dirt.
Going in that order. Joe Cool, I'm killing.
Okay.
Fucking Joey Tribbiani and marrying Joe Dirt.
You're marrying Joe Dirt.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
He's a good man.
I was
He's
hoping
a
that
good
that was
man.
how
He's
that
got
was
a
going
good
to
heart.
turn out. Yeah.
He's going to take good care of you.
I've never seen it, so
I haven't either. We need to see
watch
it.
We've talked about watching it together.
All right. Can we do a Patreon episode about Joe Dirt?
Sure.
The movie.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
It's not a very long movie. It's good.
Yeah.
You know, it fits right into that 90s or 2000s, you know.
Yeah.
That-
Oh, dude. I remember playing
we'd
all
have
the
to bring
fucking
Nicole
time.
on since that is her favorite.
It's her favorite movie. You're right. Let's
that
get her
now?
on. Nicole.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
All right.
I'm down. That's a good movie. But I'm marrying Joe Dirt.
Okay.
That's like that one, that Friends skit where they ask, Rachel, what's your favorite movie? Pride and Prejudice. What's your real favorite movie? Weekend at Bernie's. So Nicole, what's your favorite movie? Something. I took too long. Joke's over. You know where it's going.
Yeah.
Transformers. I'll help you.
Citizen Kane. What's your real favorite movie? Joe Dirt.
It's essentially the same movie. Really.
You're right.
Marry, fuck, kill. Fleetwood Mac. Mac Tonight. Bernie Mac. We all know who Mac Tonight is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The McDonald's mascot.
piano playing
yeah.
moon.
The moon. Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm gonna marry Bernie Mac.
Okay.
He's funny. He's rich. I'm gonna fuck Fleetwood Mac because that's probably a good time, but too much drama to stay in it for very long. And kill Mac Tonight because
Damn. Because of damn.
it's a moon, I guess.
I know the alt-right for a moment there a few years back kind of took Mac Tonight and latched on. So if you're looking for a reason,
Oh God!
Then definitely.
Before Pepe the Frog, they had Mac
yeah,
Tonight.
right. First they took Mac Tonight, then they
No
took
one
Pepe the
spoke for-
Frog, right?
I said nothing.
That's- oh fuck. Ian, what do you think?
I'm going with the same answer.
Seems reasonable.
Gets me in with Stevie Nicks, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Even if I have to fuck all the rest of Fleetwood
Yeah,
Mac
I did say
too.
Fleetwood Mac. So yeah.
But whatever. Gets me into
All right.
Stevie Nicks and
Okay.
then Bernie Mac's the man.
Okay.
He's just a great guy.
All right. Marry, fuck, kill. Sloppy Joe. Mac and cheese. Big Mac.
I'm gonna marry Big Mac.
You're gonna marry the
That's
Big
my
Mac.
favorite out
Okay,
of all that.
all right.
I'm gonna fuck mac and cheese. It's macaroni in a pot, WAP style.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm gonna kill Sloppy Joe. Not
All
a big
right.
fan of Sloppy Joes.
All right.
I can do it, but it's not my favorite.
Okay. Ian,
I'm killing mac and cheese.
killing mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Just not
It's
a fan.
It's okay. I'll eat it, but I could live without it. If
Okay.
I never had it again, I'd be fine.
Okay.
No big deal. I'm gonna fuck Sloppy Joe because you know we like them extra sloppy.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm marrying Big Mac.
All right. Big Macs are good.
Big Mac's damn good.
Big Macs are pretty fucking good.
If I could sub out the Super Mac, which I call a double quarter pounder, dressed exactly like a Big Mac,
A
I would do
McKinley
that.
Mac, where you
Yeah.
substitute the
You get
those patties for quarter pound
patties. I always called it a Super Mac, but I would just order a double quarter pounder and then say make it
like
a
Big
Big
Mac. Yeah.
And then I found out years later that it was the McKinley
Make
Mac.
it dirty.
But either way, yeah, Big Mac's the marrying one.
All right. Excellent. Thank you for taking the quizzes.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
That was good.
That's it.
Good
Very
shit.
good.
That's it. And now I don't know what to talk about.
Well, next week we're going to talk about, we got our deep conspiracy theory episode on Mean Girls.
Mean Girls. Why are they so mean?
Why are they so mean?
I'm gonna watch the movie again.
Yeah, I need to watch it. It's been
I
years
watched
since
it
I've
last
watched it.
week, but I'm gonna watch it.
You gonna watch it again?
I like that movie a lot.
Yeah,
a fucking
yeah, I like it too.
Fantastic.
Well, now we can't talk about it. I'll edit that out. It'll be fine. We gotta leave them on the edge of suspense. They all know we like it. It's a good movie. They
How
all
do
know.
I feel about Mean Girls?
How do I feel about
Talking
it?
about the movie or just Mean
just
Girls?
Mean Girls.
Am I into both or just one and not the other?
Yeah, I'm into both sometimes, but not all the time.
I would say I'm more of a occasionally like a bratty girl, but that's entirely different.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, it makes sense.
You know, you got to withhold from a bratty girl until she behaves.
The episode writes itself. Save it for next week. This is good shit.
So thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, the website, fucking Erwar,
The website, milkross.com.
milkross.com,
Go there.
milkross.fun,
Don't go there. I don't know where that'll take you.
but milkross.com.
But go to milkross.com.
Hey, if you like this, you want to send us stuff, you know, either to open on the show or whatever. Send that to Tadpog Studios, care of Nicole Nance, PO Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002.
Care of Nicole Nance, parentheses, lover of Joe Dirt, close parentheses.
Here it comes. People are gonna start sending shit just to put that on the outside.
Well,
of the back.
whatever you want to say to Nicole, go ahead and include that. That's a fun little game we could play.
Ian, that's why I said it.
Oh, I know. I was just underlining it.
That's what we call a podcast grift.
Nicole Nance, that girl who got bisexually proposed to by a cosplaying femme Naruto at Dragon Con.
That's
Thought about it for a second.
That's an achievement. I mean, that really is.
What else do we do? Yeah, you want to call us? We're caught up on calls, so now we're building up that log again.
Yeah, well, we're not like super caught up on calls.
Okay.
We're just through what the very expensive call screening services
Gotcha.
has done. I need to get a new batch out. So that's on me. We've still got like a year worth of calls. So we're
down to a year.
Right. But still, yeah.
That's good. It was 3.
That's great for us. Yeah, but please still do call. Yeah.
That's 270-883-2555.
I just wanted to get in front of that.
No,
so
you're
that,
right.
You know,
You're
that
right.
people who call now are like, wait a minute, you said you were
So-
caught up on calls, and now you're playing shit from 2020. What's up?
I mean, it was like 2018. We still had some shit from, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good for us.
Pretty good.
Hey, we're on Facebook. Tadpog on Facebook, Tadpog Nation, and then we've got that Discord.
Yeah, it's bit.ly/Tadpog Discord.
Delta variant's fucking going everywhere. So if you want a shirts.tadpog.com, you want a mask, and search for those on Redbubble.
On Redbubble. Yeah, search for those on Redbubble. Because I don't know, the URL sometimes doesn't forward, sometimes it does. Just like a security certificate problem or something. I don't know.
We're Tadpog_podcast on Instagram and on Twitter. Dave, you got that Twitch.
I do, yeah. I stream on Twitch on Sundays, twitch.tv/Tadpog_podcast. This past week I did Joe and Mac. This week, which will already have happened by the time you listen to this, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. Maybe I'll just watch Mean Girls, but not show you guys it because the copyright. You just watch my reactions to Mean Girls.
Dave blind reacts to Mean Girls for an hour and a half.
So I don't know. Or I just get to play something that I want to play.
Something you want to play.
Yeah.
Take a fucking break.
Yeah, I get to play something. I mean, not Joe and Mac. I was on board for that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But something you just want to play.
it ain't going to be Jelly Boy.
No Bamboozle.
Maybe Bamboozle 64.
Yeah.
Charlie's Blast Factory.
Charlie's
Whatever the fuck that was
Blast.
called.
Charlie Blast.
Charlie's Great Glass
Areas.
Blast Factory or
God
whatever.
damn it, man. Why? Or maybe Cubert 3. Who the fuck knows, man?
Cuber 2, wherever the fuck that is. Well, most importantly, we got that Patreon.
We do.
Oh, shit.
I know.
Oh, shit.
I know. I saw it.
Platinum member Brett Miller.
Platinum member.
Fucking back.
Yep.
Fucking making it rain. Thank you so
Yep.
much, Brett.
Thank you,
Because
Brett.
it's been a minute
It's
since
been
we
a
had
while.
anybody. That's the first one in August, and August is almost over.
Yep.
So thank you very much.
Very much.
I was on Discord today, and I made the comment. Like, people were saying, like, "Oh, it's so good to have you on the show.
Yeah.
It's so cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, but there ain't been shit coming in Patreon, and it's coincided with me being on the show." And I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah, Ian, I've been
we
meaning to
need to
talk
talk
to
to
you.
you're either gonna need to up your Patreon or stop being on this fucking show."
Look, man, it's been really fun having you. It really has. But
No, I get it. I understand.
people love you. You are. I get it. Trust but verify. But yeah, I've heard really good things about you being on the show. So I'm glad that you're here.
Me too. Me too.
Well, our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. We'll leave that track from the show notes at TADPOG.com. How do you guys want to close it out?
Ringo Starr is a caveman.
Sure.
All right.
So until next time, Ooga.
Try the good.
Capricorn.
Capricorn. Fuck, man, that's good.
Capricorn.
Fuck, man, that's good.
I was just cavemanning.
Ooga?
Yeah.
This show was executive produced by the following people. These are the folks who donate on patreon.com/TADPOG at $20 or more a month. We got God Emperor Alex Pena, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Lod Mulaney Dennis, Steve Dixon, Plinko Nick Price, Clambro Cody Phillips, Bantha Master, Executive Producer Dig Duggy, The Eightfold Daniel Abernathy, Time Lord Josh Edwards, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile aka Gentle G, congratulations on your marriage, Magical Sleeper aka Big Dick Pie Baker Chris Vaughn, Usurper Grimm, Temporary Eternal Savior Cubicle Monkey, Pinball Archmage Chris Edler, I'm sorry you couldn't be on this episode, but thank you for being our Pinball Beetlejuice, Platinum member Brett Miller, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Nate from Utah, first time caller, Zeus Laser, Boons from Brooklyn, Drink Smith, Joey Webster, Big Daddy Paul Anderson, Edgelord Kyle Purtleball, Master Cycle Baron, Kevin Link, General Kenobi Massacre. Thank you guys. And welcome to the list, Platinum member.
Hell yeah. So something I just want to mention, I'm sad about it, so I'll just bring it up at the end of the show. I had to say goodbye to River Cat.
No, fuck no, dude.
No.
Fuck no, dude.
He developed
Oh.
lung cancer.
Fuck.
Never would have thought.
Man, he didn't even smoke.
Nope. Nope. So
How
I mean,
old was he,
his
man?
kidneys. He's 17.
Wow.
So he was in his kidneys were
Fuck,
failing. He was on a lot of
dude.
medications, and then he just stopped eating and was just laying around. It was kind of cold.
Oh,
Took him to the vet, and yeah, like severe lung cancer. So
that sucks, man. I'm sorry.
I went down. Melissa and I went down. Said goodbye. Jacob came up later that night, and Jacob stayed and just kind of held him until that next morning. They went and had him put to sleep because he was just miserable.
Yeah.
So
Did you get him cremated?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was just like, I went down and loved on him and took pictures and recorded his purr on my phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't handle it anymore. So,
Yeah,
because man, best cat. Everyone has that one pet,
Yeah.
you know, and that's my pet for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. We had a really old cat that passed away. He just died of natural causes. He was like 21. But we had him cremated and put him in a little jar.
Melissa was talking about that because there's a lot of cool stuff you can do.
Yeah, and it's like $100 to get it done. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That
Yeah,
sucks.
that does suck
Good
really
cat,
bad.
good cat.
We're just waiting on Kara to die so that we can cremate her and put her with with her son who died, Cosmo, and then Ein, because we had those three together. So yeah, we'll mix their ashes together and yeah.
Yeah, my
cool.
remaining indoor cat, his name's Verbal. He's a tiny little guy. He's always been small. He's one of those cats who yell, like,
Yeah.
you know, the one.
Good subreddit.
Good subreddit.
Oh, that's a subreddit?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Is that like cats dancing to techno?
No, it's
Well,
just
they're
cats.
just like-
Very vocal.
Just loud meows, like, and you wouldn't expect it out of him. And he's like 15, 16 years old,
yeah.
and he's always been really skinny and frail.
Yeah.
He seems healthy, but he just like, I don't know. We're just kind of waiting on
Yeah.
him to go too. But I've had him a really long time. His name was, when I got him, he was a litter he was in a very small litter of 4 cats, and the guy that I got him from named them after the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and Verbal started out as Pestilence. But when I got him, I named him Verbal because he was so loud.
Yeah.
So
That's easier to say too.
yeah.
and not
Pestilence.
Pestilence. Aw.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's probably not going to be with us
Anytime.
much longer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fuck, he could live another 3-4 years.
Yeah, Kara's pretty old, but she's also just kind of like a mean old bitch. So yeah, it's like
Yeah.
and it's like Nikki kind of doesn't. I feed her fucking from my hand like turkey and shit. Like when I'm eating a sandwich, and Nikki doesn't love it because like she's now like if we're eating shit, she's like, this guy's gonna give me stuff.
Yeah.
And she'll like be all over us, but it's like she's gonna die at any minute.
I give her, well,
Like,
that's exactly. That's
Yeah,
what
you've had care for a long
yeah,
time.
she's old.
we always put a little food, a little like chicken or something in my dog's food at
Yeah.
night, like just canned chicken. We'll
Yeah.
put a little bit in there so she'll eat her dog food. But Verbal's learned
That's
to come
where it
in and
is.
get
Yeah.
a piece, so he comes and stands there and he gets a little bit of human food as well, because it's like it's same logic.
It's cat
like,
tax,
Let him eat,
just
him
like
have
Shredder.
something. Yeah, let him have something.
And then just speaking of cats, one of my favorite British TV shows, 8 out of 10 Cats. Like fucking phenomenal show.
Yeah.
Introduced me to the comedian Sean Locke. Sean Locke and John Richardson are like the funny people, and Jimmy Carr. Jimmy Carr's the host.
Yeah.
But 8 out of 10 Cats, great show. Sean Locke passed away at 58 from cancer this week.
Shit.
And he was amazing comedian.
Yeah. That sucks.
So also unfortunate.
I'm a little more sad about River.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That does really suck. I didn't know that until now. I'm sorry.
I
to
was
hear that.
I was waiting for the show.
Man. Yeah, favorite River Cat memory is definitely when he would get on the D&D mat when we were trying to play and
Flop.
he'd flop on it and he'd be our colossal creature. Yeah.
I used to love how he'd play with Ein because like Sky was scared and Chaos was kind of scared, but River would fucking get up there and he'd play with him through the gate, or he'd get up on the washer and dryer in that house and jump on Ein like he's the only one that would play with him.
Yeah. Sorry, man. It sucks.
Yeah, but no one asked me how my cats are. I got no more cats to ask about.
Get a cat. You gotta get a cat.
I'm not.
Get a cat.
Part
Keep
of
it
me
out
wants
here.
to. We've talked about a garage cat.
Yeah, garage cat. That's not a crazy idea, dude. Just garage. It's fucking enormous.
Yeah,
And there's plenty of
plenty of
places.
mice in here.
Yeah, he could eat the mice and the bugs.
Yeah. You should get a cat.
You
Man.
have to fucking feed it.
Yeah. I mean, essentially.
It's not a bad idea. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready. If I feel like I don't know. But thank you.